What's going on, people? Welcome to the Football Terrace. This is That United Show. I am here with an amazing panel. I'm here with Manny, KJ, Danny, JV, Flawless, Neeks. Boys, what is going on? Good evening.
Yo, sup. What up 3 times? It's good.
What's up, guys?
Absolutely. Man. Shout out to everyone who's... You're going to spark a conversation already.
What did he say?
He said Ollie's at the wheel.
God no.
You know what I was seeing recently?
That's the end of the show already, innit?
I've been there. Ollie's at the fortune wheel. Ollie's at the fortune wheel. That's what I'm hearing.
But yeah, shout out to everyone who's tuned into the stream already. Remember, guys, the active ways to contribute to this channel is to like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Football Terrace, and yeah, get involved in the live comments. Let's get as many people as possible involved into the stream. So share this video as well. So Jadon Sancho bid coming in this week. Alex Telles is done, according to reports. Dan James deal collapses. The Dan James loan deal to Leeds, and Andreas Pereira is on his way to Lazio. And I want to start with that, guys. Manny, we were talking about this off camera, and your face was just like, your face lit up. You couldn't believe it. Apparently, Andreas Pereira is on his way to Lazio Rome. It's a loan deal with an option to buy at the end of the season for £27 million. Andreas Pereira, £27 million. I don't know how Woodward did it, but I think Don Woodward is surfacing again. Do you know what I mean?
Don't call him that.
When was this? When was he Don Woodward? Since when?
It was Ed Woodward for a bit. But right now, for that deal, man, I have to call him Don Woodward. Because £27 million for Andreas Pereira. Yo, that's a lot of money. I can't lie.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm just happy.
That's the highest. Yo,
I'm his biggest fan right now. Andreas Pereira for 27 mil is amazing. Andreas Pereira for 10 mil is even amazing. I'm just happy he's going. Andreas Pereira is going. Oh no, I'm over the moon. I'm his biggest fan. I'm gonna follow him. No, listen. It's a loan and it's an option to buy. So if he doesn't perform, they can say, all right, take your guy back. So, you know, as United fans, we need to support our guy. Do you know what I mean? We have to support him fully.
I'll be making video comps of his performances.
You know what?
Promo.
Especially for him, yeah, I might get, that extra Premier Sports subscription so I can watch Italian football. You know what I mean?
We all need to buy shirts as
well.
We have to buy the shirts, with his name on the back so they can see that, okay, Andreas Pereira is bringing money into the club. We need to sign him full time. We have to invest right now. It's time to invest.
I'm telling you.
We also need to pray hard, fam. Like you never prayed before. That he had the best ever season that he's ever had in his life. 15 goals, 20 assists. I am begging.
No.
Please.
That's
good.
That's a bit too good.
No.
Only will bring him back. That's a bit too good.
Yes, exactly. Because, listen, bro, if my man gets 10 goals and assists next season, he's coming back from.
What we're saying? 8 and 5.
Well, let's say 7.
Yes.
No triple doubles. No
double.
Man said no triple doubles, But yeah, Danny, what do you think about this deal, man? 27 mil. I can't believe how we got this one done, man.
It's crazy. So I posted it in our group, and I even skipped over. I thought it said 2.7. So when you replied back, that's why I said to you, lie you would tell. That's why I said you're telling lies. What do you mean 27 million? I checked it. I was like, it says
sounds nice.
Then I had to read it properly. I was like, it says 27 mil. How? From where? I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. Look, he's not part of the match day squad, so at least we ain't got to worry about him playing for Man United no more. But if Woodward wants to be a tight, you-know-what, and this is what it takes to spend money, and we can do a deal like a Woodward, we'll look at it like, you know what, at least he's gone out on loan, he's off the wage bill, it puts him in a shop window, I'm happy. Because, this is, you know what it is? As fans, you get that player who's coming back from loan, and you're like, he's not good, but you've got a certain section of the fan base saying he's good. And then the manager believes he's good, and he's like, yo, how can you not see this car crash waiting to happen? He weren't good on loan. I don't know if anybody knows. He was never good on loan for anybody.
No, when he was at Valencia,
he was all right.
He was decent at Valencia.
He was Granada. He was Granada.
You made the point. You said decent. I'm saying he weren't good at Valencia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He weren't good to me. So no, I'm just happy he's going out on loan. He's off the wage bill. If we get a fee, great. Even if somebody comes in and matches the fee or says 15 mil, we don't want to go to Lazio. Just let him play football and let him move on from Manchester United, and I'll give him my blessing. Like,
absolutely.
Good luck to him. You know,
Got a super chat here from Zane, and it's directed at you again, JV. I don't know what you guys' relationship is, but the man saying, JV, you nearly got slapped by seagulls.
But you, man, did though. You, man, actually got beat by him. But what's that about, Zane? But yeah, thanks for the contribution.
Yeah.
Thanks for the contribution.
Appreciate
but you, man,
that
actually
still.
got beat by them. Moi Pai actually don't use over. When Moi Pai tried it with us, he got pied. Yeah.
All right, if I was on, on another show, I don't want to name it, but I think he definitely would have gotten, donkey of the day because, fam, this is probably the biggest L he's going to take in his whole career, Like, the way he trolled us, and the way the game just finished, well, we're going to talk about it in the end, but yeah, the way the game finished, it was just payback, and I loved it. I actually screenshotted when he was just with his hands on his head, just standing like this and just looking, he just looked confused, and I loved it. But yeah,
we need to bring back that Thai interview, that fan cam. Replay that. Put it on repeat, bro.
But these are reloaded. But yo, we've got another super chat here. No, that was the one before. All right, cool. Flawless, talk to me about Andreas Pereira potentially leaving, or we can say he's basically leaving because the deal was pretty much done. How well do you think it's going to do in the Italian league? Flawless?
Yo, can you hear me in that, yeah?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So what is it? Is the deal actually, so it's on loan with an option to buy, is that correct?
Yes, and I'm hoping it's an obligation to buy because that 27 mil, we need it.
I said obligation to buy it. So in terms of that, for them to pull that off, yo, that is heist of the century. That is like Ocean's 11, 12, 13 all rolled into one to get somebody to take him. Because this is somebody who has literally, I'm not even embellishing or over-exaggerating. This is somebody who has done literally nothing at Manchester United. The only thing he did that was good was the goal he scored against Southampton when we won the game 3-2, and he scored that screamer from 25 yards out. That's literally it. That's the only moment he has had where you're like, yo, Pereira was on point. So to get somebody to buy him, I don't know in it. But that just shows the standard of football that they're looking to loan a player, and they've looked at Pereira because he doesn't do anything well. He's not a 6. He's not an 8. He's not a 10. He's not a wide player. So it's like, what? I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on. But yes, I'm happy.
You know what it is?
He has been moved off the book. Even if it's temporarily. Even if he's even if he's only temporarily, he's gone. Yeah, go on, JV. Go on.
No, I was just going to say then, honestly, it's because he's Brazilian, fam. That's what it is, The Brazilian gets you extra interest, fam.
So is it called the Brazilian tax?
Yeah, Brazilian tax, man. Man think it's just going to kick in at some point, innit? Man think the Brazilianness is just going to kick in at some point. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, True. Here's the thing, though. Is he actually like, all right, let's keep it real, yeah. Let's keep it 1000%, yeah. Let's keep it 100 on the stream and then the show. How Brazilian is he? This is what I want to know. Like, is it a great grandparent? You know what I mean? Like, I legit want to know. I'm not even trolling in it. What is it? You know what I'm saying? How Brazilian is this guy?
He's definitely from Brazilian descent, but he grew up in Belgium, which explains why he played in the Belgian youth team. But then, as soon as you reach the age of 20, 21...
That's cool, though. You get me?
Cool. Yeah, as soon as you reach the age of 20, 21, the Brazilian under-21 squad or something showed interest, and he was like, you know what? I'm gone. So, man thought he was going to integrate the first team, but it's not that easy.
Hasn't he got one cap for
Whoever
Brazil?
did that for Brazil should... Yeah, he's been...
Does he have a cap for Brazil?
Number one.
Yeah.
He's got one cap.
They weren't sure. They wanted to test him out. See, is this guy Brazilian or not? After one cap.
So here's the so this is what I'm saying. Here's the thing with that. Whoever number one selected him for the Brazil squad with all that talent should never manage at international level again. Whoever called him up for under 21s, it's like, what were you doing? And it's like, right, that's why I asked, how Brazilian are you? Like, I'm of Jamaican descent. It's like, I couldn't just go and, you get me, just play for Jamaica. It'd be a little bit strange, you get what I'm saying? And I'm probably closer to Jamaican than he is to Brazil. You get what I'm saying? It's like, how Brazilian are you? You get what I'm saying? But you claiming it. I'm just asking. I'm legit asking because I legit don't know. Go on, JV. Go on.
Every man them in ends needs to go jump on that DNA thing there and go check. My man's enough Brazilian to go and get a cap over there, bro. Man must have a little something. You know what I'm saying? Now, trust me, man. I don't.
That's
see, like,
yeah.
Because I don't see how. You have to really deep it. Like, what does he do? Do you know what I mean? Like, what does he?
I've told you, he's our best kit model. They're paying 27 million for a kit model, fam.
Listen,
That's what it is.
I was questioning it ages ago. I was like, this guy can't be Brazilian. He can't be Brazilian. It don't make sense. Like, it's one thing being a Gilberto Silva, Fernandinho, where you break up play, but even them man got a little bit of sauce to them. Can they break up and they look good with it? It's not Gattuso, it's not Roy Keane. They got their own little. Even their centre backs, you know, the Lucios of the world and that. It's not just about defending. They need to look good when they defend. But Andres Pereira is an attacking player. Brazilian attacking players, you have to have something about you, or you never claim to be Brazilian because you're disgracing the nation. If you are Brazilian and you ain't got nothing about you, claim something else. You're Venezuelan, Bolivian.
Serious?
But
real talk.
Man said Venezuelan.
Man moved from Belgium to claim Brazil and to disgrace Brazil.
It's real talk.
That's why Terry, because he played for Belgium, Terry calls him Andre Peters.
Yeah, for real, fam. Now I'm telling you now, if my man was, he told you he was Bolivian, he won't be under so much pressure. I'm telling you, real things,
facts,
real things. Because man won't expect nothing from him. Man won't expect nothing from him. Man don't know no Bolivian number 10s, no Bolivian.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Or Venezuelan number 10s. There's no Venezuelan. There's no Venezuelan number 10s in it.
It's him and Solomon Rondo. That's my level.
There you go, fam. Solomon Rondo.
You should claim Paraguay so he can be out there with Almiron doing circles, doing nothing on the
God.
There you go.
That's what he should be doing.
But you know how joke it is. Man's claim Brazilian. But it belongs in there with them bargain bin Brazilians. He's one of them man there, like Joe Linton and them man. You know what I mean? We're getting these new wave of Brazilians.
Wait, man like Joe and that. You know what I'm saying?
Like even back in the day, you had Brazilians back in the day.
Oh, you mean Joe who used to play for City?
Yeah, he was alright. He was alright, bro. Nah, he was alright. You had your sauceless ones. You had your sauceless Brazilians like the striker. He was a bad man. He was a bad man. You get me?
How have we gone from off air? Off air, we were talking about buying shirts. I'm gonna make video comps to increase his value. You might have devaluing him right now.
Yo,
man,
I'm keeping it real.
To Fred the striker, you know.
Do you remember Fred? He didn't have the sauce, but he knew where the net was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Pereira's not got the sauce, but he can't find a pass either. Do you get what I'm saying? So
he's got nothing. You know the thing is, yo, JV, he's got nothing. He's got nothing. That's what I'm saying, innit? Like, you don't excel at anything.
That's a lie.
You don't excel in it.
No, that's flawless. He's got technical ability. He does, but his problem is he's got a football IQ of a gnat. He just doesn't know what to do.
IQ, that's not there.
Nah.
I don't think he has technical ability at all.
No, you don't call that Tottenham's against Southampton with no technical ability.
No,
you gotta have something.
Wait.
What are you talking about?
Man, I've done that in the park, fam.
I swear, in that. No, wait. 1 sec. One thing I want to say is one thing in that game. I can't remember his name, but that Southampton game we talking about. Did the Southampton right back not cut in on his left foot?
Valerie,
and top bin?
Valerie, that was.
Yeah, this happens, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to have technical ability to do that in the first place. So he's got some. He's got some.
Have you seen that comment from Bolo B, Aaron?
I'm just trying to get through the super chats first. So someone's in here. Pereira is the holding waste man. Got a few more super chats here. Let me just scroll through them, guys. Just a sec. Man is Belgian. Yes, he is. Absolutely. It's hard to believe, but he is.
He's Bolivian.
Easy to believe.
He's Bolivian.
I thought he was Albanian.
Saying,
is he not Albanian?
No. If Andres leaves for 27 mil, he will be the most expensive youth player we have sold, breaking Welbeck's record. Oh, really? Okay.
That's mad.
That's mad.
27 mil.
ITKPL saying end game.
Wait, how much did we sell Beckham for? 30 mil?
Hold on, let me research that.
23.
Was it 23?
They got a bargain.
Oh, wow.
Fergie done that.
23.
So man's about to
No
leave
wonder
for
he
more than
didn't want to
Beckham.
sell him a virus. Rah, that's mad.
All right, Don Woodward, come on. End
Oh,
game.
no,
Don,
it's not.
One second.
23 million
One
was
second.
23 million was a lot in 2003. Remember, Rooney joined in 2004.
4 for 30. Yeah, I
30
remember
million.
that,
Yeah.
23
That was a
was
lot of money. I agree.
1 second, no. We can't be calling him Don Woodward. We need to put an E on the end of that Don. You get me? He's
Nah,
Don Woodward. You get me? He's not Don. Because Don gets things done. You get what I'm saying? He's just done out.
Listen, if he's done, he's Sonny Corleone. Man's erratic with his spending, and he gets killed in the end because he got no game plan. That's why he ain't Michael Corleone. He ain't Vito Corleone. He's Sonny Santino. That's it. If we're gonna,
I just call him a beanhead.
Another super chat here from Daniel Henkel saying, I'm guessing you're saying 27 because it's not 2. 27 million for preseason Pirlo. Mad thing. Yeah, that's what we used to call him. Yeah, preseason Pirlo. Listen, he turn up, whip them top bins, everything.
But that's the reason why he's even got a Man United contract, because every preseason, man is banging, and you're like, all right, this is the season. This is the season. And he fails every time. And I think what it is, we're good. We didn't have a preseason this year, so that he couldn't flatter to the season.
Oh, absolutely. Yo, guys, don't forget to smash the like button on this video. Moderators, if there are any moderators in this video, please keep us updated on the number of likes that we have so that we can go up. And also share the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're nearly at 1,000 people watching, so make sure you keep the numbers up. Ed is Fredo.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for the contribution, Will.
Right. Fredo from of course, Godfather, isn't it?
I thought you meant the rapper then.
I think that's what he's doing. It must be that one.
Okay, absolutely. Neeks, let me stay with you. So we talked about Pereira. Another guy who was supposed to leave was Dan James. There were rumors of him going to Leeds on loan. Those negotiations now apparently have died down, according to reports, because Leeds are interested in signing Todd Cantwell, which I think is a very good choice, in my opinion. I think Bielsa can do a very good job with Todd Cantwell. And just Cantwell in general, I think he's a very good player, technically very sound. And I feel like, with him potentially making that step to Leeds, he can improve even more. But yeah, what do you think of Dan James? Apparently, he's talked to Solskjaer and said that he wants to stay and fight for his place. But honestly, I'm not discrediting the kid, but if Sancho comes in, it's going to be peak, bruv. I'm not lying.
Honestly, for me, I mean, I think it would be best for his career if he did leave to go on loan to Leeds or another Premier League side, just because he's going to be guaranteed maybe a bit more game time. In terms of Bielsa, I think his coaching, I think it will develop him as a player. So for him personally, I think it might be best for him to actually leave. But I'm going to be honest, for us, I think we need him to stay. And I'm not saying I want to see him often, but if we're going to be honest, if Dan James leaves tomorrow, we're not replacing him. So we're going to be a man light. And
no,
we are going to be a man light, because what's going to happen is if Pereira goes and Dan James goes, then when Rashford, if he gets injured, Mata's going to be playing. And we're all going to be like, Mata, 38 years old, why is he playing? Or Lingard's going to be playing if he happens to stay. So I think literally just for the sake of bodies, I think he has to stay. And I don't want to see him often, but we're playing Carabao Cup and FA Cup, especially with the tight schedule. I'm happy to play in the Carabao Cup.
I know JV wants to come in, but just a second, let me read out these super chats, bro, and then you'll get to have your say. Zane coming at you, JV, again, saying you should have gone for Don Ancelotti. He's already done more for Everton than Oli has done for United. And obviously, our bro Stroll, shout out to Stroll, who's watching this, saying, man, them great show, yo, I'm in tears watching this. So shout out to Stroll every time. He's a Liverpool fan. They ain't got no issues, I reckon. They ain't got nothing to worry about. So, yeah, I bet he is buzzing. Yeah, he is watching this and laughing. But yeah, shout out to Stroll. Go on, JV.
Yeah, James, washed. There's no point in having this guy. He literally has nothing to offer. Every time I play him, he looks like you're giving a debut to someone from the reserves. So we might as well. That's where Get up Cream's comment there. Wilanga from the academy. You might as well play an academy for Dan James, because Dan James, every time he plays, it looks like the pressure's too much. He looks like I've said, every game is his first ever game for United. That's what you.
Well, when he plays on the left, he looks better. When you think, obviously at the start of last season, he started very well. So that's a bit of an anomaly. But even since his form dipped, when he played in the Europa League, when we were playing our second team, and he's playing on the left, he looked better. When he and I'm like, we play him on the right, especially in games where teams are on a low block, and we're expecting him to unlock the defense. But when we go and play Man City and we win 2-1 or at the Etihad or 2-0 at Old Trafford, he offers something. When we were the first team to take points off Liverpool in the season, he offers something when that is the game plan. Yes, he's very limited, so he's only in a limited number of games where he can be effective. But when you play him on the right, trying to, he becomes the wide playmaker or something like that. Of course, he's going to be.
Nicks, you just said it, though.
Anyone from the academy, I'm not expecting them to unlock a defense that we need to be unlocked. So I don't know. I think maybe we expect too much from him, and too much is being put on him. I don't know.
Nicks, you just said it, though. That's my main thing with Dan James. Like, he's so limited that he's only useful in specific instances throughout the season. You can't have a player who plays for Manchester United where you look at their qualities and attributes, and all you're saying is, if we happen to play against a team who wants to dominate the ball and we want to play drop back and live up, that's when we're playing. You need players who can adapt. Wait. What we need is players who have more than just speed and work rate and actually have the technical ability. So when it does come to games where we actually need to do the 1-2 touch combinations and maybe do something more, I'm not saying that that we expect those players to do those all the time, but what I'm saying is in those situations we can have Elanga or Ethan Laird or someone on the right wing, because we know that if in a situation left wing, right wing, whatever situation it's in, we can have these players on the pitch who are able to adapt to, all right, now we need to do short passing combinations. All right, now let me drop back and use speed and a counter.
I don't disagree. And as I said at the beginning, if I trusted that we would get a better player than Dan James, if we're to get rid of him, I'm all for getting rid of him. But
we can definitely get a better.
No, we can, but we won't, because them man don't want to spend. Them man ain't go out and actually get someone better than Dan James. But when you look, it's easy to spend
15 million right now and get a better player than Dan James. You could get
100%.
I know you can.
Check this. 1 second. Same way Leeds. I've looked at James. See you later. And I'm going to get a player who's just been relegated. That says a lot.
But JV, I don't disagree. But neither me or you are on the board. We don't have that. I'm saying realistically, if we lose Dan James, that's it. He's not being replaced. That's my assumption. If you think,
I get that.
But we academy. Last year we had players playing in the academy, like Taif Tom, we were one of the best players in our academy, especially for a wide position. He comes in and he gets a lot of criticism, and fair enough, he didn't look very good, and we've had to send him out on loan. So there's no guarantee that we bring someone up from the academy and they're going to be able to do what Dan James isn't able to do. It's not as simple as that.
Manny, let me get your opinions on Dan James. Obviously, he came from Swansea for 15 mil. When he first came, I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens. And then obviously he has that dream debut, comes on from the bench, scores in front of the Stretford end. Everything's cool, but then obviously he keeps on scoring, but then the dip happens, and people blame it to obviously the loss of his father and that, and which I understand, but.
Can I just say quickly, Aaron?
Go on.
Even on his debut, he nearly messed that goal up.
I was so gassed for him when he scored, but at the same time, it was a bad shot.
I tried to be neutral, but then Danny just came in, and do you know what I mean? But yeah, Manny, go on. What are your thoughts on Dan James?
With Dan James, it's a weird one, because when we signed him and when we first got linked to him, I think everyone was waiting out for Jadon Sancho. We thought Jadon was going to come last year, so. And at that time, United, as what United do, we go through this period where we don't sign any players. So I thought, okay, Dan James, I felt like the media kind of pushed him on us a little bit, because it was like, okay, this guy's done well against City, I think it was in the FA Cup. And all of a sudden, Dan James is this bright, new young up-and-coming star or something. And they've somehow pushed him onto us. So when we got linked with for 15 mil, I was like, I don't see what's special about him. What he can kick a ball and run after it. Like Phil Walker could do that, but there's levels to this, you know, and that's not the kind of player I wanted us to get. When he played against Chelsea, boy, I thought that was an amazing. For me personally, I was like, okay, this kid's got a bit of swag to him. He can do something that maybe a lot of players in our team can't do. Well, he had, what was it, about 6-7 games that was all right, and then he just fell off. And every time you watch him, like, how should I put it? Every time you watch him, it's like he's come from under 23s and he wants to prove himself. And it's like he's trying a bit too hard. And for me personally, if we can get that Leeds deal back on the table and maybe give him a 10% discount, I'll do it, because Dan James is not going to have a great United career at all.
Super chat here from Wilf again saying, are we saying Dan James can't improve? What about player development? JV, go on. You wanted to say something earlier.
Yeah, exactly that. No, he can't. He can't improve simply because a lot of the time, this is what people need to understand. A lot of fans, I feel like a lot of fans don't play football or have been involved in football, so they don't really get it. But for me, you have to show something yourself. So I've not seen him come with something. All these games he's played, he's not come with something to be able to play on the right. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not dropped a shoulder. He's not like, you've not even seen him like try a step over, fam. I've seen Phil Neville and John O'Shea bust a step over, fam. And that's me being real. That's me being real. I'm not even dissing. I've not seen a man try to add something else to his game, because then that can is maybe what I'll do something with you. But for me, he gets the ball, and then the most worrying thing about it right now is weapon, which isn't even a secret weapon, is his pace. And he's not even using his pace. So him without pace is absolutely, there's nothing there. He's not a passer. He's not then got the movement or anything. So for me, he needs to, what I would be looking to do if I was him is I'd be getting behind the defender. Do you know what I mean? Make a run in behind so someone can, listen, you're telling me you've got Bruno, you've got Pogba, you've got Matic, you've got Fred. These are all very good passes of the ball. Are you telling me you're not got the brains to just make that running behind the defender? Fair enough if you can't beat the defender.
JV,
I think
and then just pass it across the box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, JV, don't you think what you just said there in terms of making the run and things like that, things of that nature can be taught, like that. Like things like that of that nature can be taught. Yes, he's quick. You know he's quick, but it's like he's not being told how to utilize this. And some people automatically, I get what you're saying in terms of the step overs and things like that, but some people automatically don't have it. Like we've seen as soon as Bruno came in, the game, I think it was away at Everton, and he was trying to coach him and tell him when to come short and spin him behind and things of that nature. The problem with Dan James that we have is we're talking about him like he's a first teamer, like in terms of the first 11, and he's been used wrong. There's no way that Dan James last season should have played 25, 30 games, however many. He's a squad player, but we're looking at him like he's a first team player. And that's unfair.
And you know why?
Because he's not a first teamer.
Because I don't actually think, when they came out and said we've scouted Dan James, there was a rumor going around, we've scouted him and we've watched him play at Swansea. I honestly think it was just a recommendation from Ryan Giggs, just like Ryan Giggs tried to recommend, a centre back from, I can't remember his name, the young Welsh centre back. Was it that? Yeah, he tried to recommend him to us, and I honestly think Ollie and Ryan Giggs had a conversation. He said, "Look, this young winger from Swansea is looking good. I'm giving him his debut for Wales. You should get him." And Ollie probably was like, "All right, cool. I trust you because you're my guy, innit, Giggsy. I played with you, so let me get him."
Well, listen, the last time we bought someone on a recommendation, that was Bebe, innit? 7 million in Portugal.
No. Let's bring this back full circle. You know what's really ironic about that take from Aaron? So you know how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got signed from Man United, right?
It was a recommendation as well.
So Alex Ferguson never watched him play. Simply trusted the scout's word that this guy's got a knack for scoring goals.
No, but Aaron said he doesn't even think our scouts watched him. It was simply Gig.
No, they could have pulled up a scout. Remember, Neeks, you forget we've got 500 scouts around the world globally. I'm sure the scouts are somewhere in the archives. Somewhere in the archives. Look, JV and Flawless have already touched on this. The problem with Daniel James is that his football IQ is just, for me, it's too low between a particular bar already. So even if he improved, let me put it like this: his football IQ
I was thinking
right
this.
now,
just be average.
for me, it's not even average. It's about a 4.5.
It would be. It would be. Yeah.
Yeah. So even if he improved, it'd be a 6 or 7 max, and that's with hard
This is
work,
insane.
constant coaching, and not only that, in a team that suits him. He's a bog standard winger, and he can only do it on the left. When he plays on the right, he's like a bloody fish out of water. He doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to move, and even on the right hand side, he's a 2-trick pony, because all he can do is either cut inside and pretend to be Ashley Young, or kick and push to the byline, and his left foot crosses.
Listen, rate Ashley Young, please, man.
This is what I'm trying to say.
I'm just saying. Wallace was talking about the runs that he needs to make in behind JV as well. I've seen him try to make these runs. He times them poorly, and the angle of his runs is always off. He's the type of player when you watch him, you're like, yo, what made you think you were going to get the ball with that run you were doing there? Can you not see the path to that ball is blocked? And he keeps doing these things. So for me, he's the type of player, if you're playing 4-3-3, if you're playing 4-3, or he tells Rashford and Greenwood to do it, and they do it just fine. Different type of players. So for me, if you're playing with book standard wingers and you just want to feed them the ball, David Moyes would love him. Get out wide, stay wide. We'll give you the ball. All you have to do is just try and cross, and you'll get 20 opportunities to do it. Maybe 2 will work, and you'll get an assist, like one assist every 4 games. That's the type of player he is.
The club's
and not only that, our forward line, we don't have a striker who feeds off crosses anyway. That's not how we play. Our players in the final third want to play technical, short pass combinations football. He hasn't got the technical ability to do that. So for me, I understand what Neek says, where it's unfortunate he's had to play on the right, and Flawless saying he's had to play too many games, but ultimately his value to the team is very, very, very small. Everybody else has to be flying for me to even tolerate him starting a game for Manchester United.
And this is the thing as well, what does my head in? Everyone's like, oh yeah, he's better on the left. Man might really have to understand, he's not that good on the left. Rashford's better on the left. If he was that good on the left, we would then have moved Rashford over to the right, innit? Or we would have tried something.
So JV, can I rephrase it? Rephrase it? He knows what he's doing on the left, doesn't know what he's doing on the right.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying use. I'm saying in the comments, because I'm seeing the comments. Everyone's like, "He's out."
Oh, okay. No, I'm just saying though, but he knows what he's doing on the left. Yeah.
To an extent, you know what I mean. He's like literally when he's on the left. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's got a few more tricks, but they're not that good. I'm saying he's playing good for Wales against who? Kazakhstan. All these mad teams like that, fam. Do you know what I'm saying? That's no good for us, bro. There's plenty of man. It's true, fam. There's plenty of man who could play good against them. Why do you think?
JV. Yeah, man. Did he not play against? JV. Did he not play against Venezuela as well? I swear he grabbed the brace.
This is what I'm trying to say, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Just want to get a joke. You catch it. Nick's caught it. Shout out, Nick's. Nick's got it.
Aaron, can I just wrap this up by saying something real quick about that?
Yeah, go on, KJ. Go on.
Yeah. So Dan James, he's a player we brought in. He had a great start, but he had a hard pre-Man United in terms of his dad passing away. He's come in. I think we all can agree that the club's just too big for him. It's best for his career to move on, because he doesn't want to end up like someone like Phil Jones. He's in the club. He's not really loved. He's just in the sidelines and that. So we're not trying to hate on Dan James. We're analysing his game, and we all can basically agree that there's a better place for him, just not at Man United, and that's okay. Like that's
not
okay.
in the Prem. There's not a better place for him in the Premier League.
Wherever you think he should be, there's better places for him as a person, as a football player, to be at, and that's just not Man United.
Let him go to West Ham. David Moyes will love him. 20 crosses.
Honestly, he's a League One winger. There's wingers in the Championship right now who are.
That boy at West Brom is better than him.
Pereira. There you go. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think he's Brazilian. He's a real Brazilian.
There you go.
We got a super chat here from Chloe Jenkins saying, and Jose knows how we play and will man mark Bruno and crowd the 18-yard box, so no interplay.
Don't worry about Jose, man.
What Jose does anyway,
no, I think they're beefing in the group. They're beefing in the chat as usual. I've seen a random person. Look, man, talking about doner kebab, cheesy chips, all types of random things in the chat today. I don't know what's going on.
Cool. Let's move on to the next subject, which is the obvious one. You've seen him on the thumbnail. Jadon Sancho. We're in the end game. It's the last week of the transfer window before it closes next Monday. And reports saying that we report saying that we are in for Jadon Sancho. We're still in. Well, we've been in for like 20 years. That we're gonna make a bid. That's good.
Yeah, I'm with you, fam. I'm with you, bro. I'm done with this. Go on.
That we're gonna make a bid, a final bid. Take it or leave it to Dortmund for Jadon Sancho to come in. You know what? I'm gonna start with you, Daddy, because you took off your headphones and you're like, bruv, I'm tired.
What do I say? All right, you know what? Like, just I don't know. What do I say? Like,
say how you feel, Danny. Say how you feel.
Say it with your chest, bro.
There's nothing to say, is there, bro? I'm with you on this one, Danny. Go on, bro.
I can't.
Let me know what happens. Let me know.
You know what this is like? You know what this is like? I feel like I've watched now. This is like the 25th Transformer film I've seen now. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, I can't. Like, he's a bit coming next week. Cool.
Exactly. You know what it is, bro? This is how I see it. Yeah.
That's the wait, JV. That's the first time I've seen Danny with some form of like explanation. Like this guy explains very well. You know what I'm saying? He's very well, and then now he's just fed up and just like, yo, it is what it is. Man's done with this. Danny has an explanation for everything. You get me?
Exactly,
you get me? Very intelligent. You know what? You get me? Explains himself phenomenally. And even he's like, yo, let me know what happens.
This would be a great moment to insert that meme where you've got the man them, just standing around and one of them just goes, he is what he is.
Yeah, bro. That's what it is, fam. I ain't gonna lie to you, yeah. I've never heard of a club, yeah. I've never heard of a club, yeah. Been getting a player for so long and not actually bidded for him. It doesn't actually make no sense. Schneider is 25.
No, Gaitan,
bro. We're monitoring.
Oh, the Gaitan one.
You're monitoring when the window's not open. You do your monitoring.
That's what we're doing.
You know what it is?
Monitoring, yo. That's what it is.
I ain't gonna lie, fam. I think there's no way in hell we're getting this guy. No way in hell. No way in hell we're getting this guy, bro.
Lost hope,
Nah, you know what? I didn't really even have a hope. I was just like trying to go along with the thing for the sake of it. You get what I'm saying?
I'm here for Sancho vibes. That was it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, fam. From when you have to understand, yeah, we've been trying to get this guy for so long, man.
It's been like a year or so.
Yo, bro, not even
2 years.
I'm not even the years. I'm talking like this summer. Imagine. I'm talking like, think how long this summer we've actually been trying to get him and not put in a bid. It's a good job that this whole Corona thing was about, because someone would have embarrassed us. Someone would have put in a bid. I honestly feel like if this was a normal thingy, someone would have put in a bid. You get what I'm saying? It's only because everyone knows the money ain't flowing. What big transfer has there been? There's been no £100 million transfer really this year, has there?
Closest was Havertz.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that's still a Prem team. I'm saying like from your Madrids and your none of them type of clubs affects their muscle because it's not one of them. Do you get what I'm saying?
You've seen Barca right now. Them are looking at that wheelie guy in the gym, bro.
But here's the thing. I think we know that. I think our boardroom knows that, and they're just trying to long. If they don't wrap this up, if they really want this guy, if we don't get him now, I don't think we'll ever get him.
That's why the super chat 100%. Here says Jadon would wait a year and have his pick of clubs next year if we don't get him.
Exactly.
And I think next year, clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, even Bayern Munich will look at him and go,
Liverpool, bro.
Liverpool, yeah.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because obviously I think this year, if it was a normal market, then we would have put in a bid long time because we know the other clubs money. But we wouldn't put him. None of me would have got it, but would have put in a bid. But the thing is,
we wouldn't have put in a bid. We would have rated. There's no way United would put in a bid for Jadon Sancho. There is no way. When United fed to the press, we're only going to pay 50 mil for Jadon. There would have no way to put a bid in.
Corona market. That's because it's the Corona market. If it was a normal market, they would have known Real Madrid, Barca would have been in for him. I don't know who else.
Yes.
I don't know.
PSG
possibly. Because Mbappe might have left, except there would have been a lot of movement. But I think, because as David said, they know they're the only one in the market. so they can take so long. And because they're the only one in the market, and he is Solskjaer's first choice, that's the reason why I still feel we can get him. If it was just just a new story, and we didn't know whether he was Solskjaer's first choice, etc., then I wouldn't be as confident. But I still think the fact that he's Solskjaer's first choice, would they really dare? Ed Woodward and would they not give him his first choice?
Nah, they wouldn't.
Would they?
Nah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
I think it's gonna happen. I think it will happen. I've said this.
I think they will tag us along.
I've been saying this for
ages. They will tag us along as they have, just to keep us happy, and then in the end, it will come down and they'll say, "Yeah, he has some unbelievable wage demands, and we will not be held to ransom." That's my life on it.
You know what? On Twitter, I saw this tweet. Yeah, someone said, "This Sancho saga is like this Sancho and Manchester United saga is like, you know, them kids that always wait for the uncle that keeps saying, 'I'm gonna come get you,' but they never come." Someone said that's what it is.
That's what it is, fam.
Listen,
that's what it is, fam.
Sorry, quickly. Sorry, KJ. What I was going to say is that when it comes to next summer, it's not a guarantee that other clubs will be in the market. But when you think we're not going to get any fans back in the Premier League grounds until March at the earliest. So if they can't afford him this year, I can't see how they're going to afford him next year. The only way that Liverpool can get him next year is if they sell Salah, Mane, or Salah. The only way Real Madrid,
Salah, I love that.
They have to start selling Coutinho, Dembele, for example. So I think the issue now is that because of this news that came out about a week or so ago that fans are not going to be let in the ground, now they might even take longer. Woodward might be, you know what, we can wait till next year. If we can't afford him, no one can afford him. And it's possible that they might come back in January like they did with Bruno and said, "All right, what are you saying now? What are you saying now?"
I think by then it's gonna be too late.
That's too late.
Before I get Manny's opinion on it, let me just read out just 2 super chats. Next season on Amazon, All or Nothing, the Man United Sancho bid from Winter Surfer, and we've got a second super chat here. Malik Dallas says United won't sign anyone else, unfortunately. I mean, it's 8 days left, 7 from tomorrow, so.
Is that it?
On another note,
It closes on the 5th of October.
Done. We ain't getting no one. 7 days left.
On another note.
7 days. Done.
JV. Yo, JV, man. Allow it, man. You get me? I don't need this realism around me right now.
I don't want to
You are destroying me right now.
I don't want to talk about
Manny, let me get your thoughts on this, man.
Do you know, just to talk about that super chat, All or Nothing documentary for United. If we were to do that, that will crumble our club. Imagine seeing Oli, in training, telling these man, how you gonna shoot? How you gonna score if you don't shoot? You're near the box, shoot. Nah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all on the All or Nothing. And then to see Woodward trying to negotiate a deal for a player. Nah, please, I don't want to see that.
That would be fancy, that would be fancy to see that.
Our club will crumble. I'm telling you, it will crumble. We don't need that.
But Matt Judge on the phone to Evra. Evra's like, "Why are you not picking up your phone?"
No, but in terms of Sancho, I'm just tired, man. I'm literally tired. I was giving it the most in every single group chat that I have. Jadon's coming. Everyone's telling me Jadon's 2021. Even one of my mates was like, "Oh, he's getting Liverpool," And I just think if we really wanted Jadon, we would have put a bid in for him. Look, his asking price is 108 million. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? We're not going to save no money. Pay the 108 million if you want him. Which
pay the money.
Makes me, this is 108 million. Take it. Why are you trying to save 1 mil here, 2 mil here? It doesn't make sense. Just pay the money.
We can't pay 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 mil, whatever it is for this Tellers, bro. How are you going to? I don't understand why none else.
Even the Tellers one is like, what is it, 20 million euros? And they're saying, I only want to pay 12 million. And then
so if you can't negotiate that,
they just don't want to. They don't want to. That's the problem. Yeah, they don't want to cut you. I just think the issue we all have is the fact that if the money was there, we'd be like, okay, yeah, go on.
No, but according to Woodward, the money is there. How many times did he come out to say we're the most powerful club? We have this. We could do whatever we want in the transfer market. So prove it. Prove it.
No, he's not saying that no more.
That's the reason why we're in this mess.
He's saying now.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
No, he's now saying, Yeah, well, he's backtracking,
Yeah,
and he loves
okay.
and he loves the add-on. Add-on Ed
how-
Woodward.
That's why we call it the
Ed
Stallmans.
Stallmans. Ed Stallmans,
That's
bro.
why we call it the Ed Stallmans. Got two super chats here. The first one from Sir Knight McGee saying, who's the pick for the title now after 2 rounds? And I'm guessing he means like 2 match days. Honestly, I don't know. Anything can happen this season.
You can't pick that from now, man.
I'm hearing people say Everton. I'm like, oh, please, that's a bit too far fetched.
I think they'll do bits, but the title, I don't know.
Too early.
Yeah.
You know what the real question is? Sorry. Oh, sorry. Go read the super chat, bro.
Yeah, sorry. Dollar Post says, I hate how it feels like Sancho is the only right winger in the world. He's not coming. Maybe that's why we are keeping Daniel James.
That's what I was going to respond to. Forget the Daniel James part, yeah? What random winger do you think we're going to find if we don't get Jadon Sancho?
Yeah. Listen, before we answer that...
Not Maximus. I don't hear about no Maximus from Newcastle, Kane.
No, it's just, man. Listen, this ain't even the point.
Maximus, oh my God.
Listen, I've been wanting to say this about this whole Sancho thing for the whole show, because that's why the reason why I put it up in the group chat. I think if United... I'm like this. I'm like every day for Sancho, fam. Because that's, I think, the only way we're gonna get it, just through mad prayer and hate and faith. But I honestly believe if we do not get this Sancho deal done, I think as a club we're in for a rough ride for the next 2, 3, maybe 5 years. Because here's what I feel like will happen: we don't get Sancho. Ollie then doesn't get the tools that we need. We already know that he's a questionable coach. Is he good enough? Is he not? We already in this thing. So without Jadon Sancho and Telles and other players, he'll just get sacked anyway. So he end up getting sacked, and we'll just end up reverting back into.
I think he'll get sacked either way. I can't even lie.
Well, KJ, why are you commenting?
We're gonna revert back into how we used to be. Scattergun approach, bringing whatever manager here and there, and the whole process that we're trying to go through now will just get ended. And I feel like we just end up going back a good few 5 years. So this is why I have to believe Sancho comes in, because if we don't, it's gonna be a peak.
Even if Sancho comes here, we're still in trouble. Sancho's not gonna solve the problems.
I'm not saying he is.
We're still in trouble.
Whoa, 1 second. Of course we are. Sancho does not make Lindelof a now world-class defender, bro. We got
No.
Bro,
Lindelof at the back.
Wait. This is a broader.
Terry is very confident here, saying we will buy Sancho and we will buy Telles. Let's go. So
Terry, wait, You see that account? That's the Football Terrace clips. Me and Terry are running it. Everyone go over and subscribe to it.
Subscribe
Get clips
to that
from the shows. Please go subscribe.
Subscribe now.
Check KJ on his Suge Knight. Subscribe. Check KJ on his Suge Knight shit in it. Make sure you go subscribe to the Terrace clips. All right, plug it out.
Subscribe to the Football Terrace.
All right. Sorry, but I had to get out my chest.
Yo, this Sancho thing, is giving me.
That's what it is, bro. Come to the Football Terrace. You ain't got to see your manager in all the videos.
Yo, this Sancho thing has got me thinking mad thoughts. You know, we're referencing 50 Cent and JV earlier on. I just literally, 50 Cent has that line when I pray to God. Because I've been through so much bad things. When I pray to God, I've got a gun in my hand when I pray to him. That's how I feel right now with this whole Sancho thing. Man, KJ's praying, but he's got an AK with him. Like,
KJ.
If you don't make this signing happen, I'm going to go light something up. Like, don't. Please.
If it don't happen, it's, the fun, happy KJ you see, you're going to disappear for a good 2 moments.
Well, KJ, hear me out, bro. If you're you need to go pray to Jesus. Everyone, fam. Go find the next one.
Find them. The Egyptian gods, the Mayans, go as far back as you need to.
Every god, fam.
I'll go here up Collectory, get some judge on the go as well. I might.
Yeah, some simple Christianity ain't doing this one, bro. You need everything in the world. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, these sound a bit stronger.
Yeah, it's for real.
Where's the power, Danny? Where's the power, fam?
There's some Chelsea fans in the comment. Man's talking about Sancho to Chelsea. How much more attackers do you not want?
You man still need to.
He's a Chelsea supporter, though.
You man still.
To be fair,
Chelsea fans still need to worry about patterning up Tony Silva and that. So please don't
Well,
come
by
in
the
our
way,
mentions, bro.
Nice segue, Aaron. This brings me to our broader conversation.
Yes.
We're lucky right now that Chelsea have a crap back four, Arsenal don't have a great midfield, and Tottenham are being managed by Jose Mourinho. Like, this is
Don't forget
why
City as well.
This is why we can, like, especially if we get Jadon Sancho, we're making top four. We're making top four. We're making top four. We're gonna get more points than we did last season. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Remember, the team that
more
stopped
points than 63.
66.
66, sorry. 66 points.
Yeah, at least 20 more points. We'll get 20 more points. Trust me, no problem. Oh, actually, not 20. My math is terrible. No. 15. About 15 more
I was
points.
about to say that. Yeah.
I
was about to say you wilding there.
Title challenge.
Wilding there.
No.
Yeah, 10
We'll get
points.
about 15 more points. But again, it's in large part to do with the fact that everybody is rebuilding at the same time. We have a golden opportunity to sign a premium talent, and no one else is involved. No one else is in the mix. Free run. You know, I'm sorry for the references, but you know that thing in the hood you've been waiting to catch for a minute. You never see her, and then you catch her. You just happen to have a haircut. You just got new Jordans. Everything is and then she walks past you. You don't even say nothing. You just let her walk by you. That's what Man United are doing right now. I can't. It's just get the deal done.
And then
Stop faffing around.
And then when she goes and ends up with someone else, I want it.
That's what
She was in my happy. I used to chat to her. Nobody cares if you used to chat to her. You know them ones. You get a girl, and then girls start going into the girls' DMs. Oh, I used to chat to that man. Who cares? We used to chat. It didn't work out. That's why we're not. Nobody cares. You're just bitter. Man United better get this done.
Yes. Facts. Yeah. Hella, just to add on to what you just said there, hella bitter, man. That's what it is.
Did you used to chat for? Yeah, I used to chat for. Did you beat? Boy, you know. You know what I don't say nothing.
Like, Jamie is not in the mood. You don't care, bro. Like, it's just.
I'm telling you, man. I'm being the realness for his hair, bro. We need to start thinking of other things, bro. He's in Germany right now.
Yeah.
He's in Germany right now with eating some good food, fam. You know what I'm saying? He's chilling, assisting.
He's eating schnitzel, fam.
Yeah, he's eating that schnitzel, all of that schnitzel. You know what I'm saying? He's chilling with Haaland playing FIFA and them thing there. You know what I'm saying? Polishing down his new boots. Man's not thinking about Manchester, fam. You get what I'm saying?
Go on, you wanted to say something. Dinesh here.
Man said schnitzel, innit?
Teams. Yeah, that's bro. I am German, so I know what they eat there, innit?
That's the name of the episode. That's the name of the podcast. Schnitzel.
Or that schnitzel with Witzel, innit? Man got a Witzel on there too, bro, on the podcast, fam.
My days.
That's what's funny. Yeah, that's what's funny. Now, I was just gonna chime in when we was talking about, the gal who'd be like, yeah, you used to DM him. He used to DM me, so it's like, I'm supposed to stop trying to find my soulmate because you rejected me. Like, nah, the show goes on, innit? You ain't the only show in town, innit? We keep this moving. You know what I'm saying?
But who, like Danny said,
in a bit, innit?
Like Danny said, what team is out there, fam?
And again,
there's no other team in the world playing with. What are you trying to tell me? No, everyone else in the world don't play with right wingers.
No, what I'm saying is,
it's just Sancho, the one right winger.
The quality we want and need. Where else is it do you see in world football? Because you guys even say Ollie's a bad coach. So if you think he's a bad coach and we're going to go get some next right winger who needs development and is too raw, what's the point, bro? Get what we need, fam.
Yeah, we need Sancho.
Oh, you know what?
We do need. All jokes aside, we do need Sancho.
I think, honestly, like I'm being serious, guys, 100%. If we don't get Sancho, we should definitely think about going and getting a Venezuelan winger. I think that will massively help us. I think that will help us massively, bro. Like, I'm sure there's a Venezuelan don somewhere out there, bro, with mad techers. Do you know what I'm saying? We can go and get him. Move his family over here, take care of him.
Aaron, there. You man sucking me in. I was like, all right, let's hear this name because I know you know your word. I was ready on that. I thought, let's go in it. All right.
We should phone Solomon Rondon and ask him if he ain't got no cousins that play.
Wait, no. Go to the MLS, get Josip Martinez. That's the closest Venezuelan we got to being good.
But yeah, we got super chat here from Dinesh Kerai saying teams with a strong bench and keeping their players fit in a compressed season will win the league. Teams in Europe traveling back and forwards. Games in Europe should have started 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'm guessing he's talking about the strength and depth and, the fitness and that. I think that's what he's talking about because I didn't really understand. But yeah, thanks for the contribution, Dinesh. Shout out to you.
We're the most in the league.
But yeah, guys, let's move on from Jadon Sancho. That was Bands, by the way. That conversation was let's move on from Jadon Sancho to Alex Telles. Now, again, according to reports, I have to keep saying this because obviously we never know with Manchester United.
I'd rather argue about the Brighton game with an Ollie in or Ollie out.
Yeah, bro.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get to that. I'm actually gonna link it with the game. Obviously, Luke Shaw has been getting a lot of criticism since the start of this new season. Alex Telles is meant to come in. Do you guys think with Telles that we've got another option, or do you guys see it as an upgrade?
Let me say
it's not another option. It's not another option because man's going PSG anyway.
I'm just gonna say, I haven't watched enough of him to know, but common sense tells me we'll probably create another problem because he'd be good going forward, but not good defensively. So, yeah.
That's
so, what's going to happen? We're going to have that thing where, we've got someone other than Shaw, and then it's like, okay, and then eventually, like we're seeing with Aaron Wan-Bissaka right now, over time, eventually, those flaws are going to become a problem for your team. What I would say is the positive and negatives are, and I know we've spoken about Shaw to death on this show. Shaw's decent defensively, or at least good, according to me.
It's okay.
I think someone just made up a song, and I'm trying to think of the melody, but someone's saying, tell us more.
Tell me more. It's Greece.
It's Greece.
Yes.
Singing that.
Yes, Greece.
Yeah.
Big
up Young Wizard.
It's Greece.
Tell us more.
I'm not a fan of Abbey, though. So to me, that don't run.
Hey, big up Young Wizard,
But question: why are we haggling over Trump change to Manchester United?
No, let me.
That's the thing.
That's what I was going to say. The thing is, I'm going to be honest, I don't have an issue with them trying to get the price down from 20 million to 12 million if they believe that's the value. And obviously, Telles has come out and said also apparently that, well, listen, I think, Porto, you're pricing me out of a move. Like, my value's too high. I don't have an issue if we do that, and as long as we get him in the end. If it gets to October the 4th, and they're like, we're not budging on 80 million, pay the 80 million. But if you can get him down, because you're not buying him for 3 games. You're buying him for the rest of the season, for the length of his contract. So if you can save 8 million and you're buying the value that you think he's actually closer to, I don't have a problem with negotiation. I'm just worried that we're going to negotiate to the death and end up not getting the player, because not getting the player is worth more than the 8 million that they're going to charge us extra than the value. So if we negotiate and get him for 12,
you know what it is?
We might pull it
8 million. The 8 million
thing.
is the 8 million that added onto the 100 for Sancho, fam. That's what it is.
You know what it is? He only has a year left on his contract, so I get it. It's just the Man United board. You got no credibility with me. I don't care what you're trying to negotiate, the reasons why. Just get the deals flipping done. You've had an extended summer because you could have planned for the summer when we was in lockdown.
They were
To
planning.
be this far into the window,
They were planning.
Yeah,
to be this far into the window, and we're haggling.
Yeah, go on.
Like, come on.
Go on, Danny.
And this guy's 27 in his prime.
go on, Flawless.
Like, they just got no credibility with me. Sorry, Flawless. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, it's cool, man, innit? Get it off your chest, innit? I can see in it that you're just not having it. You get what I'm saying? No United flag behind you today. You're not having it today, innit? You are not with this shit today and that. But all jokes aside, it's just incompetence all around. Like, we've had however long to pick players and target players for these positions. We all know Manchester United need a left back. I thought Shaw was actually decent against Brighton, and he was actually decent going forward. He ended up winning the free kick as well. That Bruno, we then scored the equaliser, and we spoke about this. Won from Luke Shaw. It's just like
we spoke about it.
We spoke about it. Just be positive. Yes,
we see more.
We're not asking. Yeah, facts. We're not asking
you know what's crazy though, Flawless.
Luke Shaw had enough time to do this.
Sorry, Fake. Sorry. Very quick on Flawless' point. You speak about the incompetence. This guy was just offered to us. He was offered to us. He was offered to us.
See what I'm saying?
We didn't plan.
So
we didn't plan, target him, strategize, like literally. And the plot thickens. So what agent offered him to us? It's Rio Ferdinand's ex-agent, former agent, that offered him to us.
Okay.
Probably put a phone call into David Gill or Sir Alex Ferguson. You know what?
That goes to show
a Regulon was offered to us, and we found a reason to be like,
See, and that just goes to show just lack of preparation, lack of planning. And this is big Manchester United Football Club. The people who are in charge of these type of things are paid thousands upon thousands upon thousands, some of them millionaires year after year. So to do this job is terrible. Yes, we need a left back. We all know this. You telling me, someone said on the stream before, we got 500 scouts. You telling me in the world of football, you can't identify a suitable left back, a suitable centre back, a suitable holding midfielder. If we don't get Sancho, at least a right winger, you get what I'm saying, to back him up.
Someone plays some 50 Cent. That's how
it's just free.
That's what that sounded like. And this is the crazy thing for us. Like, I can't argue with anything Neek said because it's all rational. But the problem is, Neeks, is done Woodward.
We don't trust them, man. We don't trust them, man.
We can't trust them, man.
This is my point.
I remember
my point.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Bring back up that super chat from Pav Sota. Listen, take care of the penny. What do they say? Look after the pennies, and the pounds will take care of themselves. So when you get to the fruit stand, listen, get 2 pence off your apple, and every time you get 2 pence, after 50 apples, you save yourself £1. Get 2 pence.
No,
apples.
it's deeper than that.
As long as you get an apple. So you're hungry. You can't walk away from it because it's a waste of a journey.
You see what United do? What United doing is that they want to save all this money. They're trying to haggle down the price and then end up paying the full price. Like Maguire, that whole point was so long. Oh, we're not paying 80 mil. We're not paying 80 mil. Manchester United have agreed a deal for 80 mil for Harry Maguire. Well, what's the point then? Why are you haggling?
That's the thing, though. I don't think we might not do that this summer. That's the scary thing. That's what's terrifying me. We might not do that this summer. Danny, you're wrong. Well, whatever you say, Terry, like, it's your channel. I agree with you. I'll pay the party line. I'm wrong. I'll pay the party line. But
no, that's not what this channel's about, bro. Don't pay no
echo check. There's no echo check.
That's not Terry. Danny, that's not Terry. KJ type.
It's KJ type that.
Wait, someone told me, someone said in the comments, KJ, if that's 50-50 with you and Terry, you need to chat to him because he's spending peas and you need your money. Spending peas on super chats when it should be in your pocket.
You know what's scary though? If I asked you, like, you all should know this phrase, right? You heard people that are penny smart but pound stupid. Yeah? I don't think United either. What are United? I don't even know.
Yo, we are. You know what we are, Danny. We're just stupid all around. Yeah, me. 360 degrees of stupidity all around, from top to bottom. In it, it's just terrible. Like all around, like we could do this whole. We've been on an hour talking about United's incompetence and their failure to do simple things like identify targets. If we need a left back, identify 3 left backs, and then you go for the first option. And then if you can't get him, you go for the second option. If not, you go for the third, etc. Why is this so difficult? We're not asking. Everyone in the world knew you were going for Sancho. And yet still we are negotiating. Fake Football Fan touched on it with the Maguire thing. They wanted 80 million at the start of the window. We were negotiating and ended up spending 80 million. So what exactly were we negotiating? We did the same with Wan-Bissaka. It took ages to do the job. Yeah, it took ages.
At least Wan-Bissaka, we made a bid. We made a bid flawless.
Yeah, that's true.
We made a bid for Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
One second, we got super chats here. Got super chats here from Malik Dallas, the first one. Tell us his levels. Defensively, he's okay, but going forward, he's top 5 across Europe over the last seasons at Porto. Wonder of a left foot. I've seen some of his goals, ridiculous, by the way. Got a guest here, but just a sec. Wilf saying, insisting on only 12 mil for Telles is crazy. It's crazy, man. We spent 9 mil on an academy player, Hannibal. Did we?
Yeah, he was expensive.
Yeah, but that's a 9 mil investment on a long-term asset.
And we've got a third super chat here. I'm guessing it's
Stop spending my money, Terry.
Leicester wanted 90 million and we got it down to 78. And we've got a guest here, and guess who it is?
Wait, before we continue, wait. Yeah. Before you continue, all right. So we saved 12 million. So that 12 million we saved, add that onto the Tellers deal, innit? And get it done. You get me? We saved 12 million last year. Get it onto the Tellers deal and get it done.
Terry, welcome to that.
Surely you saved to then invest.
Yeah, I hear you, Paulus. I hear you.
First thing I want to do is say goodbye to Danny. All right, you got.
Yeah.
I love the money chat, man. I love the money chat. By a fake football fan, welcome to the platform, mate. Great opinions and great.
Thank you for having me, man.
We're listening. Listen, the money thing is one of them, bruv. Like, you're never going to get credibility in the market until you play hardball in the market. And sometimes you got to break a few eggs to make the omelette at the end of the day. And you look at I heard you guys, this is where it gets backwards. I heard you guys praising and talking about Don Woodward, Don Ed.
No, that wasn't you guys. That was Aaron. That was Aaron. Bro.
That was me.
If we get £27 million for Andreas Pereira, if we get anything more than £10 million for Lingard, we're about to get over 20 million for Chris Smalling. That's because we played hardball all the time, right? And we've made them wait until now, and we're getting the deals that we want. So from my point of view, we can't praise these good-looking outgoing deals. By the way, we're getting Donny van der Beek for 35 million. We're going to get Tellers for about 17 million quid. We weren't doing deals like that for you. We were spending 35 quid on Morgan, I can't pass Schneiderlin, and Bastian Schweinsteiger that was past it, bruv. Like, for me, we're doing good business, and I know we want it done early, but we've got to gain credibility in the market, and you do that by playing hardball, and sometimes you miss out on deals that you want, and you can't be dragged over the coals. I think we can't want our club to be run better and be more like City, be more like Liverpool, be more like Bayern, and then not behave like those clubs. It doesn't work for me. I think we need to do it. It's frustrating, but it's coming good. And when we pick up Jadon this week for 90-odd million and it's below the asking price, it's great. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be peak. It really is. But that's just on the finance.
Terry's confident, you know.
Look, do you know what? I'm going to have egg on my face regardless.
Man is just laughing.
Listen,
Terry goes, when we pick up Jadon for 90 million,
listen,
like man's just going to go and pick him up from school. Like, yo, come on.
Yeah, man's popping to his local co-op.
Exactly. I'm taking a leaf out of Scouser's books as well. When we sign him, I'm going to break it down to the lowest possible yearly cost. And if it comes out like 8 million, it's £8 million Sancho Costas. I'm doing a scouting. I'm going to Littlewoods catalogue this bastard. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's catalogue, pay £1 a week for the jeans. Do you know what I mean? But no, like, it just, for me, it's the only thing I disagree with that was said tonight. I know we want the deals done early, but it isn't always as easy as that. It really isn't. And this is what goes wrong. We get like fans on Sky Sports News now kicking off about deals taking too long. You speak to credible journalists on the real, and they're like, we were all briefed that this was going to be the end of the window for X, Y, and Z reasons. But we've just been dragged along on this conveyor belt all summer, and it's made us all angry. But for me, we're going to get good deals for those players when they come in. We're going to sell some dead wood for some big money. And I don't like Woodward. I don't like the Glazers, but I can't deny that's good business. And it gives us that credibility that we're dying for in the market. That's my view. Anyway.
And to be fair, I've always said since the beginning, I said, obviously, I do want Sancho to come in, but it wouldn't surprise me if this drags out till the end. And it looks like that's going to be the case. It literally looks like it's going to be till the last day. If we sign him on deadline day, I'm not going to be surprised because we announced Bruno on the 31st of January. So it really wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, man, this is our track record, man. This is what we do. You know what I mean? It's our track record in terms of like we do deals late. That's why I still went out on a limb and I still think we will sign him. And I think there will be scenes. Imagine if United sign him on deadline day, what the show will be like the next show after. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine what that show will be like. Well, we already unbearable.
You remember when I got excited and said Harry Maguire's the second best defender in the Premier League? I get excited like that again.
You are right about Maguire, bro. You are right about Maguire. He is the second best. Like, there's no doubt about it, bro. Do you know what I mean? I remember people telling me all summer, Nathan Ake is a better player. Yeah, of course he is.
Stop that.
Of course he is, bro. 5 goals in your home debut.
Hey, see fans. Hey.
I don't mind us negotiating deals. You negotiate, you try to get the best price. As long as we get the player at the end. It's like Man City, for example. They might not get Koulibaly. It looks like they're going for Ruben Diaz now.
Yeah.
But based on their track record, I believe that they're going to get the manager where they want. They very rarely end the transfer market. Last year they didn't get the centre back. I understand that. But generally they end the transfer market getting the players that they generally want. If not the exact player, then a player in that position of equal or or roundabout quality. So I don't mind us negotiating. In theory, as long as we get the player in the end, whatever happens. I just don't know if, as Danny said, maybe this summer they might be saying, well, we're not doing that. So if we're setting the price at 90 and they're going to say 100, we're not going to go above that. And we're going to end the window without getting Sancho, which for me, the 10 million difference is a bigger loss to us than if we just went and paid it. It might be a bit of egg on our face because we're trying to be a bit stronger in the market. But I think getting him right now is more important than saving our face or kind of trying to set the precedent for future markets. I think Sancho right now is so important for the future of Man United.
I agree. Like on the money side, 100%. Like he is needed. We've needed Sancho since 2009. And just 21 says anything, not actually Sancho, but we needed someone of that quality in that position because we never replaced Cristiano Ronaldo. And that's probably my biggest bugbear with the Glazers. That if you think about that 90,
we signed Valencia.
Yeah. But we signed him, and there was the thought of no one thought he'd ever be as good as Ronaldo. But after a couple of years, we know that he was never going to be at that elite level. But the way I would look, if you look at our 2008 team, our last great team, barring Van der Sar, and you could argue Carrick with someone like Paul Pogba, how many of our current squad would even challenge to get into that team? Or how many of those players have we actually replaced? How many have we had a world-class left back? Have we had a world-class centre back? We didn't have a world-class right back, to be fair, back then. Look at the midfielders we have in Carrick, Hargreaves and Scholes. And we had consistently since 2008 players of that quality. The attacking three of Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez in their pomp. And we had players at that level. The answer is no. And that's where the Glazers have let us down and damaged us. And everyone's right to fight back. We haven't replaced them. And that's the biggest problem that Man United have faced. That we had that team. We never replaced those players. And we've just been playing catch up. And we got by because we had the greatest manager of all time that could get a tune out of anything. And it's been biting us in the arse now for the last 7 years. We tried doing a Galacticos thing. And even that, you know, we were acting like we were shopping at Harrods. We were a sow in Debenhams, bruv. It was just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. That was the most.
We only did that for a year or two either. It's not like we kept on doing that.
Yeah,
that's when we were pound stupid, and now we're not even pound stupid. Like
we just stupid, fam. We just got like hope and pray, fam.
Yo, is Tom Cleverley better than McTominay? I think he is. You know.
Yeah, he is.
I think he is.
That says a lot.
No, he's not.
I think Tom Cleverley is better than McTominay.
He's better technical footballer. He's not athletic.
No. What I've always said about McTominay, I like him, but I've always said, if you want to be not just a Manchester United great, but just a top class player, you have to do more. For me, you have to do more than just pass sideways and backwards. You can't just be content with that. Yes, you know, if you look at his pass completion, sometimes it'll be over 50% of people were like, oh, but he had a good game. Yeah, but half of his balls were backwards passes or sideways. So you have to do more than just that.
But we have to remember,
Anderson for an hour is better than McTominay.
Sir Alex Ferguson,
100%.
As Terry said, Sir Alex Ferguson got the best out of many players. And when they left Man United, they were not. Look what the clubs they went to and what they actually did. And the majority of them did nothing. Darren Gibson, Tom Cleverley, Kieran Richardson, even John O'Shea when he left a bit later, Liam Miller, Chris Eagles. These man, David Bell, these
guys didn't do much for us. Chris Eagles, Gibson, Miller, not those three, but Cleverley.
Cleverley didn't do much for us. Cleverley looked to.
No, Cleverley didn't. That's what I'm saying. That one's Cleverley actually played games for us. The other guys didn't.
No, but I'm saying Cleverley didn't do much for. He played for us, but he wasn't a star for about 6 months before. Oh, he might be as good as Jack Wilshere, and that died out very quickly at Manchester United. Then he went to Watford and flopped. So not flop, but he was
Everton.
He was steady. He was a steady player. I knew what I was going to get.
But that's what McTominay
bad
side.
You know what?
I don't know what I'm going to get.
I'm going to have to use one of JV's quotes again. He was a steady Eddie.
Tom Cleverley was basically
low level.
Jordan Henderson level. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, pretty much. I'm on board with that.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
You don't think as well though, a bit of nostalgia on that because we had a better team and were winning things. I don't think we focused too much on our players that weren't quite at the level. Like
exactly,
we knew those players weren't as good, but because we were winning, we didn't care. It's like with Liverpool. They try and finesse this. We've got a centre back striker type, defensive striker type weirdness because you don't score goals. if Liverpool stop winning and stop being at the best, suddenly his misses of goals and his lack of goals will start to bother them. Because they're winning, there's no need to be angry about it because they're at the top of the tree. And I think that's the issue we're in now. We look at a lot of our fringe players and they make us angry, where for 25 years, I didn't care how bad David May was. I didn't care about Jasper Blomqvist barely created or scored a goal because we were part of a winning team. It didn't matter. Now it's like, if you're a fringe player, because we've been so bad in the market for 7 years, our fringe players for the last couple of years have been our starters. Like having Pereira as one of your main attacking threats. That's ridiculous.
No. That's a stroke of genius. And Lazio got a great player on their hands.
True.
We are losing him. And we can't cope.
And remember,
best Brazilian to play for Man United. I'm devastated.
Remember to watch his games, guys. Remember to watch his games. See how he's doing.
Buy the t-shirts. Buy the t-shirts.
Yes, buy the t-shirts. Yeah, no matter what number he gets. Super chat here from Prem Prodigy, who says Fergie played Darren Gibson against Bayern Munich and we beat them 3-2. Fergie was moving like Thanos back in the day.
Hang on,
his fingers.
We went out. We beat them 3-2, but we went out that night, mate.
We lost.
Was that not when
the better
Robert scored that volley?
Yeah. The better example is the team Fergie played against Werder Bremen.
Oh, that was the worst.
And 11 full of squad players. And we went away.
Michael Owen hat trick.
Yeah.
I want to say that was Wolfsburg. That was Wolfsburg.
Oh, was it Wolfsburg? Sorry.
Yeah. But they all.
Overtime and that.
Did Carrick play a centre back? It was Carrick and somebody else who played that centre back.
JV, at least Overtime was more talented than David James. He had a step over.
Exactly, bro. I was about to say that.
I'll give him that,
No. I swear to you, 1 second. Right now, if we had Overton and Overton or Dan James. Oh, come on.
You know what's bad?
Honestly,
I remember when we signed him, I was excited thinking, none of us knew who he was. And I remember, and the internet then wasn't like it is now. I remember he did this big interviews in a paper and I bought the paper and I was like, oh, what is this kid? I'm so excited about him. And I opened it up and a big headline was his quote of, I don't know why Man United bought me. I'm just Mr. Average. And I was like, oh, my God. I was like, wow. And then 2 days later, it was his debut. He came on against Blackburn at Old Trafford. I was there. I was in the crowd. I was cheering. And we were already 2-0 up. And the ball got put across the 6-yard box. And he was there to tap it in. And I remember just thinking in that moment, you know, like when they say your life flashes before your eyes. I went, he's going to score this. It's going to give him the confidence. And he's going to not think he's average. And he's going to go on. And he missed from 2 yards at open goal. And it went wide. And that literally was the embodiment of his career. But when he scored that goal in the Champions League, do you remember that weird run-off celebration he did? Like head up, shoulders, knees and toes.
I was like, talking about Fergie flashbacks, yeah? That one where we beat Arsenal with seven defenders.
Whoa,
with the twins. With the twins at the wings. Twins at the wings.
Raphael.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know how he did that.
I didn't go to that game. I actually went, my brother, Leighton Orient played that same day, and I went with my brothers for some reason, and all my mates were waiting at my house, and most of them are gooners. They're like, oh, where are you at? So I come back from Orient. So we walked back from Leighton Orient's ground to the place we were living at in Leighton, went in, and I saw the lineup, and they were just all on me, like, you're going to get ruined tonight. And I remember sitting there thinking, we're fucked. I was like, we're done. And we absolutely bossed them. And that was Fergie, bruv. That was Fergie. And then there was the aura. Man United felt invincible back then. When we beat them, that was one of those nights where I was like, I swear, someone's getting arrested for fraud, theft.
You know what's crazy about the Silver Twins is that we wanted Fabio, but we could only get Fabio by getting Raphael as well.
Yeah,
Raphael
was the better player.
Fabio was a left back.
We should have never sold him. We should have.
I love Raphael.
Yeah, man. Honestly.
And Raphael was in the back spot, and Fabio didn't really make a career of himself.
But guys,
Evra, he had to battle with Evra.
Yeah,
guys. Before we wrap this show up, obviously I promised you guys off air that we're gonna talk about this Brighton game, and I'm gonna start with you, Manny. Brighton 2, Manchester United 3. What was going on?
Did you not see the Football Terrace live stream? It ended 2-2, mate. It was
it actually did.
In fairness, let me just address that real quick. I did today's. I always end them a couple minutes before to set up the reaction show anyway.
Yeah.
I was done, and I can't believe it. I mean, it was just crazy. Sorry, you asked someone else.
Yeah, Manny, what was going through your head when that final whistle went and then all of a sudden we get a pen?
You see, the penalty was I didn't even care about it, to be honest. The 3 points, I do not even care about it. It's the performance. It's like this is the first time where we've come home with 3 points, and you look at the game and you're just like, what was that? What was that? It's like I've never been so sad to win, if that makes sense. I've never been so sad to win, and that's how I felt. We've got 3 points, but I'm sad. I'm upset.
Looking at the game. What do you think? Or no, tell me what annoyed you like during the game. What did you think of the game when you watched it and you went, nah, this is wrong. Okay, this went right, but this went wrong. Okay, but we did this good and this was bad. What do you think of it?
The first thing is nothing went right. Actually, Rashford, that was a brilliant goal. Let's start with the goals. Rashford's goal was brilliant. Martial looked all right. For once, the girl looked like, okay, I'm gonna make.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let him finish.
The girl. I said in one of my football groups that the girl actually looked okay. For the first time, he was vocal. He was talking, but then the two in front of him, Maguire and Lindelof, I do not know what's happened. I don't know what's going on there. They can't play together. I don't even want to see both of them at all. I think Maguire is the biggest 8 million flop, and yeah, I'm saying it. Like on one of my podcasts, I said Maguire is not even.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
I said on my podcast that Maguire, it's not even like I see Lindelof as an iPhone 7 and I see Maguire as an iPhone 7 Plus. I don't see where the upgrade is. It's just okay. You've got a bigger guy. He can't run. He can't do nothing. It was just terrible. Defending was just all over the place. And it's like you watch the game and there's no system. No one knows where they should be. Fernandes is playing. He's a number 10, but then he's running back into the box. Pogba is playing deep as a centre back, as the third centre back. Matic is playing more forward than Pogba. Like, what's going on? I don't understand. And Brighton just ripped us apart. That game should have ended like 6-2. Well, 6-3 if you're calling VAR. But yeah, it was a disgusting game.
I can see you don't understand. I can clearly see you don't understand. Harry Maguire just a 7 plus.
Wait.
Okay, no, Neeks.
No, wait.
Let Danny speak. Let Danny speak.
It's not going to be long.
All right, cool. Go on.
Today's not about me. That was last week, whoever. Listen, when Man United win, I'm always happy. That's always happy. When that penalty, when I saw the replay, obviously the final whistle blew, and I'm thinking, we dropped 2 points. But I see them rushing over. Maguire looks so certain that there's been an infringement. So his confidence gave me confidence that something's happened. And I see the replay. I'm like, what's a penalty? And then Bruno steps up, and I'm confident because Bruno scores all the penalty. Bruno Fernandes. I love it. Call him. I want to drink all the salty.
And you know, before he took that pen, I was screaming at I was looking at my screen and I was saying, "Don't do the hop. Do not do the hop."
But the thing is, what I like about him is that he doesn't have to do the hop because he's done a normal penalty before. Whereas, Jorginho is just a straight hop and jump and he passes it, and Alisson sussed it out. I'm like, this is 90th minute, 100th minute. You got to bury this top bins, and he did it. I was so happy. So, listen, Man United 3 points is the first thing that always matters to me. Afterwards, I analysed the game. We didn't play well, 100%. We didn't play well. But the 3 points is the most important thing because if we played well and drew that game, the knives would have been sharpened and they would have been out and ready. They're out and sharpened and ready anyway, but at least you got 3 points to defend yourself from the attack.
Yeah, we've got the 3 points, but that performance was diabolical. That performance
and throughout the season, we're going to have poor performances as well. But the 3 points is what is the most important thing. Now, I hope that we don't see that kind of performance over and over again.
I was just going to say that.
Our second game of the season, especially on the back of losing the first game, the 3 points was the most important thing this week. And even if the football itself, you can say it wasn't good, etc. But the mentality to get a winner after losing the game, and you saw how distraught all the players were, or drawing the game, losing the points. You saw how all distraught the players were at 95, 96 minutes to then go up and get the winner. That shows character. So there are positives that you can take in that respect, the character. But of course, the football does need to improve.
Of course, I'll just say to echo on the back of that. And I saw Liverpool win. They played better than we played yesterday, but I must have saw them win 10 games last season where most of the viewers on my channel would say it didn't deserve it. They were lucky. But then the overarching view is always, but they just keep going to the end. They're resilient and they get the job done. I see United win some games in the last 18 in across this season and last season where we scrape it, and there's no kind of, good teams win ugly. When Man United win ugly, it's turned into a negative. Anyone else wins ugly, and it's like, that's what good teams do, Terry. I just find
championship mentality, they say, isn't it?
I just want the same energy from fans. To what I've noticed with a lot of Man United fans, and I get we're scarred, I get we're damaged, I get we're angry, but I see us praise rivals for doing the same things we do. I've seen Arsenal, United fans praise Arteta for being pragmatic and playing counter-attack football against the big teams, but chastise Ollie for doing the exact same thing. The hypocrisy and it's a self-loathing. The self-loathing it stinks. Honestly, it's like morning breath. It's like bad. Danny, you were going to say something, bruv.
Yeah, I was going to say quite a few things. Echo your points. Echo Neeks' point. I was so deflated at the end of that live stream. Yeah, I was literally about to turn the game off, and then that happened. So, like Neek said, when United win in that fashion, when you get a penalty in the last minute, it's not like watching a penalty in the 30th minute. It's just completely different feelings. To win the game in that way was just, I can continue my Saturday in a better mood. But then that mood's always soured by Man United fans who say things like fake football. TV's just said just now. Harry Maguire didn't play badly, so I don't even know why you bring him up. I just don't understand why you bring him up.
I think he had a bad game, to be fair.
And then you say Martial played well, and Martial was terrible. Like, he was terrible. Couldn't hold the ball up, couldn't beat anybody, couldn't pass, couldn't do anything. But Maguire's your target. Don't understand that. Baffling to me. Beyond that, the game, look, it was a horrible performance. The first 15 minutes, this is what bothers me about this Manchester United team. I see things in that first 15 minutes, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then as soon as the opposition team becomes more aggressive and the quality of their press improves, we shrink. And then when we do, after like a 7-8 minute spell, we haven't had the ball and we get the ball, guys are doing the trying low percentage things that aren't going to come off, and then we lose the ball again, then we're under the cosh. I don't know if it's an Ollie issue or a player issue. I suspect it's more of a player issue, because when I see players do things well and then the opposition puts it on you, that just means you have to do these things well again, but under more pressure, and they shrink. So that's for me, that's the bigger issue, more so than Ollie's coaching. Forgive the shameless plug. If you follow me at Twitter, @DevilDetailsMU, pinned on my Twitter page right now is the Ollie Ball Explained video. If you watch that video, come back to me and talk to me about patterns of play and coaching then. Please do. At any time. Anytime someone wants to talk about coaching, patterns of play, what Manchester United are trying to do, watch that video, then come back and speak to me. Luke Shaw, we get on Luke Shaw all the time. Positive. Big positive yesterday. We know most of our attacks come down the left-hand side. So to see him play well is something that we need to see him do. But we have to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Lincoln brought it up in the chat. He is a member. So I'm going to bring it up because he wants me to.
Danny, the whole right-hand side between Wan-Bissaka, Pogba and Greenwood, especially defensively more than anything, cost us so much. Gave Brighton so much joy on that right hand.
Yeah.
Well, Terry had the stats up. Sorry, Aaron, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that left winger is. I don't think he's an amazing winger. March, he's not that amazing, but the fact that he was free time and time again.
We thought Lamptey was going to be the big threat.
March was, yeah.
And it was the left hand, our right hand side. We were getting.
He was free time and time again until he actually scored. And I'm just like, how many times, guys?
Well, this is why I want to talk about Wan-Bissaka. But to Neeks' point, Terry brought it up. Mason Greenwood basically gave the ball away every single time he had it in the final third, in the first hour. Every time he had it, he
gave it away about 13 times.
Paul Pogba, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to talk about Paul Pogba.
Let's not talk about him because I was disappointed. Yeah, I was disappointed.
Very, very disappointing. But it's now time on. But we have to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka because I've laid off him I've just ignored these things and just left them alone. But now it's gonna become a narrative because it's happening like too frequently and it's becoming so obvious. He can't defend the back post. For some reason, when the ball's in the air, it's like his GPS system just stops working, and it's got nothing to do.
Times,
last season as well.
And for those who are not aware, when people say it's because Ollie's told him to help out Lindelof, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's aerial duel success rate last season was 35%. He's worse in the air than Victor Lindelof. That is a statistical fact. So he can't help him in the air because he's worse. He's way worse. So that's not a reason. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, Aaron Wan-Bissaka's a bodyguard for Maguire on corners for a reason. Ollie knows he can't win aerial duels. He's just there to block people so Maguire can get up. That's how we use him on corners. So that's a big, big problem. So when we don't have a natural right winger and Paul Pogba on the right-hand side is looking as shambolic as that and giving the ball away in stupid areas, the right-hand side is a massive problem for this Manchester United team. But you know what? Like, I've seen a slight improvement. It's not a great improvement, but I want to be positive. I saw things in that game that I need to see more consistently over the course of 90 minutes. We've got Brighton, we've got Tottenham coming up. I'm confident about those games. I don't know why everybody's so damn negative over two matches.
You know what?
Under the circumstances. I don't get it. No, I'm sorry, Anne, but like, you realise, like, I think since Bruno joined the football club, I think we've only lost 2 matches.
No, but you know what, Danny? You know me, when I give credit when it's due, and one thing I liked about the game was Luke Shaw. You know, actually, we scored the goal because Luke Shaw got forward and he got the foul. Yeah. So when he did that, I was literally talking to my screen and I said, why are you not doing this more often? Because clearly you can see when you get forward, there's an opportunity or there's a goal. And I've said this about Luke Shaw so many times. I don't know why his first choice is always to get the ball and then he cuts in and then passes it inside. I don't know why he does that, because there's so many examples I can take. There's the Brighton game 2 seasons ago when we played against Palace away in the pink kits. There was a phase where he had no other choice but to go forward because he was surrounded by 3 Palace players. Man went forward, passed it into Lukaku. Lukaku scored. And again, that day I was like, why are you not doing this more often? So
that's a good quality ball as well.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, why are you not doing this more often? Because clearly it works. So I don't know why he's not doing it.
Okay, can I add to that? Can I add to that? Sorry,
I don't know.
Let me add to that when I talk about. I keep saying it on this platform. These players have bad habits. I'll give you an example. Me and Barry watching the live stream.
Right.
The balls on the right hand side will be in press. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, and Paul Pogba in a triangle. Anybody knows football? When you're being high pressed in a triangle, you got to play short pass combinations to beat the press.
Yeah.
We do it. Ball goes to Bruno Fernandes. We switch it to Rashford. That's when Rashford had the opportunity when he didn't slide in Luke Shaw for the overlap, and we criticised him for it. We spoke about that later as well. Several minutes later, we're in the exact same situation, and Paul Pogba does this lazy ball with the outside of his foot. Brighton recovered the ball, then we're under pressure. When I tell people, don't talk to me about coaching and patterns of play, when I see a player do something well, and then several minutes later, when the quality of the press is better, he folds, and it's Paul Pogba. He's 26 years old. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, and technically skilled. Like, why is he not press resistant? I don't understand why he's not press resistant. It's one of the things I need to see from him this season. And I've gone out on a limb for Paul Pogba and defended this guy under Jose Mourinho. It's Mourinho's fault. It's nothing to do with Paul Pogba. I can't do that anymore.
Do you know what?
I can't do that anymore.
I get you. Do you know what I think stood out for me? Watching other people's streams, reading Twitter, reading blogs. I try my best to not live in an echo chamber and listen to what other people have got to say. And fake football fan, like, it's no real direct criticism of you. I hear you say about like Maguire and Lindelof and how they're no good, they haven't improved the team, etc. That they're no good, but then equally say there's no system. That's where I start getting confused. If there's no system and style, but the players are trash. How did all of our defensive metrics improve by 40% last year? We doubled the amount of clean sheets. We conceded 40% less goals. We conceded 43% less opportunities on goal. We only conceded 18 goals from open play last season, which was a record of 7 years. I don't know how those things... It's either one or two things. You either don't have a system, but the players that come in are really good and you freestyle it and you improve. So the players are good. Or the players are crap, but you have a really good system, but with crap players in it so you improve. I also heard people say yesterday the reason Pogba played badly is because all the players around him are crap. Okay, all the players around him are crap. That's why Pogba's bad. You can't blame you can't blame Ollie for not getting his system to work because the players are crap, but yet people still do. Equally, if you're going to use the excuse that one player is being affected by loads of crap players, why would you not afford that same excuse to Harry Maguire? The problem with the criticism I see is that each thing that these people say contradicts their previous point, and none of it makes any logical sense. There's no logic to any of those. Do you get what I'm not saying you said those things, bro, because I don't know if you have.
No, I want to add something to you before I forget it. Very, very quickly. For the people, I don't think anybody here would ever say that about Paul Pogba, blame Ollie for that performance yesterday.
No, there's no one on the stream.
Yeah, I know that. But what I would say to them is this. This is what I would say to those people. Bruno Fernandes had a shocking first half. How did he play in the second half? Played pretty well, didn't he? Yeah, probably our best player in the second half. played a lot better. He improved his performance. So how come Bruno Fernandes can improve his performance in the second half and Paul Pogba can't? Is it because of Oli, or is that something to? I put that on Bruno. I wouldn't even give that to Oli. I'm just saying Bruno Fernandes got a hold of himself and improved his performance. You see that, but then you don't see Paul Pogba improve his performance, and Oli's the problem. So why Oli having a negative impact on Bruno as well? Like, those are the things that just don't make any sense to me.
I want to ask you.
I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna dip.
Wait.
Yes,
what,
JV.
Oh,
Yes, JV. Thanks for coming on, man. Much love.
Yo, stayed 40 minutes longer. Appreciate that, JV.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go on.
The midfield pivot of Matic and Pogba, is that a liability because of both of their?
I just think it's not working.
Yeah, the midfield pivot as a whole is the issue.
No, the reason why I say is because when, like, okay, you look at the Sevilla game, and when we had Fred and Pogba, that worked well because Fred's got the high energy, and Pogba we know is technically gifted. When you've got Matic and Fred, you've also got Fred with a high energy, Matic with a solidity, and he can also obviously got a good range of passing, not on the level of Pogba, but a good range. When you've got Pogba and Matic, you've got solid players, but you lack energy, which means that if you come up against a high energy team, then you might struggle in the midfield. You know, we should never be losing midfield battles to McCarthy and MacArthur, but you got McTominay and Pogba who aren't as energetic. McTominay got energy, but not as energetic as a Fred. Is Fred, in terms of our midfield, important that he actually needs to start with one of the two if we're going to play a midfield, a double pivot?
For me personally, I just think we should scrap the double pivot.
He's key.
I really do. I think
to me he's key. To me he's key.
That's a longer conversation, KJ.
6 and 2-8.
I hate 4-2-3-1.
We don't.
I hate that formation with a passion.
Listen, Flawless, you and I will agree. 4-3-3 is the formation I want to see. Make no mistake about that. The problem is, as I keep telling Man United fans,
so many times.
This is the problem.
Yes.
This is the problem. This is people need to remember what Oli inherited. He inherited a squad that was not designed for one brand of football. It's easy to see in the front line, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, nothing like a Garlo. Obviously, we signed a Garlo, but nothing. When we play Lingard and Lingard and Mata, we've got no one who can run with the ball. Completely messes up our front line compared to our first team. We know that. What people don't pay attention to for the midfield, Nemanja Matic has never played as a single pivot player in his life at club level. At Chelsea, he was always in a two. Yeah, we had Kante next to him or Fabregas next to him, and in one of those times, I think it was under Conte, they played with a back three. So this dream of seeing Matic as a single pivot player at Manchester United in a 4-4-3 or 4-1-2, however you want to describe it. I know what you're going to say, KJ. Basically, it's just a pipe dream. Fred can't play that role either because Fred's only good when he's pressing high up the pitch. That's why he's so important to us. We play more on the front foot when we have Fred because he's excellent at winning the ball in the opposition's final third, and Pogba feeds off that. And because Fred's quick, we can leave Fred behind Pogba more often than not. But when Oli plays Matic and Paul Pogba, there's more balance between the two. And we know Matic likes to hold the ball and drive up the football pitch. And in that system, if one guy goes, it's old school England, Gerrard and Lampard, like people used to say. When one guy goes, the other guy has to stay. That's the downside of the system. Yeah, but bear in mind, Oli inherited this midfield, and he had to pick his poison. What do I trust Ed Woodward to go and get me now? Can I rebuild the midfield now, or can I rebuild the back four?
Guys, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Just one little sec.
Yeah, go on, Aaron.
Risa just tweeted basically what we all knew anyway. He literally just said, Alex Telles and Man United found an agreement on personal terms. I thought that was already done. Tonight also, on last details and agent commission, MUFC are in talks with Porto about the fee. I thought they already were. Man United also have a plan B. So I'm confused. So what's going on?
He's repeating himself.
My view on the Telles thing really quickly. I think it's
this is confusing, man.
But this is what happened though. This is why I make videos about it, but my personal opinions always stay pretty. I think the deal is done for Telles. It needs a go sign. I think we're waiting to sell people first. Because we have to, whether we like it or not, this summer, we have to sell before we buy moving forward. We're losing £140 million of income because we're going to have no fans at the club. And we just want to make sure that we've got 2 or 3 players going out. I think we do a deal with Porto and say, let's just keep this on ice until we get 2 or 3 sales through. And that's what we do. But Fabrizio, I love Fabrizio, but he often tweets the same thing in different words. He must just use like those, you know, the apps where you can like reword my sentence. Like he uses reword his sentence.
I say reword my sentence.
Yeah, and then comes back into the same thing. But we do have a plan B. The plan B is just him covering himself in case it doesn't happen because he's had so much stick. But remember, Fabrizio, I love him, but he's gone from 800,000 to nearly 2 million subscribers over the course of this summer. So we know what man's doing.
Danny,
and a lot of them will be United fans as well.
Yo,
Aaron,
Aaron, do me a favor. Can you put up this comment from Conradius? People these weird names,
Is
man.
there a
I'm
recent
not
one?
going to pronounce. Yeah, no, it's from 1042.
Aaron,
It's relevant to our point.
the rest of the tweet, he also says, it goes, Reece Sancho, still the same, 120 million euros or nothing.
That's why I didn't even mention it.
BVB have not received any new bid.
Sorry, it's under the comment from somebody called Young Wizard, Aaron.
What's his name? Sorry.
Conradius. I think that's how you say it.
I'm gonna have to go up for this one still.
Yeah, just at 10:42 p.m.
Okay, I see it.
It's stuff like that.
I'm doing it on my phone, so I can't see the time.
Sorry.
There
I'll just read it out. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Who are the average players that Klopp has performing week in, week out?
Henderson.
From your guys' perspective. Okay.
Henderson.
What's Henderson? What's his main attribute?
Henderson world class, man. We ain't doing that.
No, but what's his main attribute? What's his biggest contribution?
Work rate and covering the right back.
All of the average players that people talk about in Klopp's system that he's getting the best out, they're workhorses. Pogba and Matic. Pogba in particular, Pogba's not a workhorse. He's just not a workhorse. Matic ain't a workhorse. Like our two workhorses are Pogba, are Fred and McTominay, but these guys don't have well, Fred does, but I'm never going to get onto Fred. We know McTominay doesn't have the skill. You know what? It's getting to a point where if Pogba keeps playing like this, he's going to get dropped for Van der Beek. Make no mistake about it.
That's fine. And perfectly fine.
And if it happens, I said this yesterday. And if it happens, oh well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, here's my thing. I know.
Let Flawless go first. Let Flawless go.
Yeah, as we were saying, if that does happen, fair enough, because we all want the best for Manchester United. One thing I will say is in regards to you make a point about Matic obviously not only playing as a single pivot. Ollie's best run is when we played 4-3-3. When he came in as interim manager and he was playing Matic, and then he played Herrera, and then he played Pogba next to him. I think Bruno is more than capable of doing the Herrera role.
No,
I'm like,
Bruno's
let's see it.
Let Flawless finish.
So one thing I will say is, all right, this 4-2-3-1, we have midfield issues. So I'm like, if it's not working, let's change it. Let's do something different. Let's just see 4-3-3. And then if it don't work, fair dues, try something else. Because this 4-2-3-1, our midfield's talented. Don't get it mistaken. Obviously, Pogba's been shocking. You get me? Been shocking these first two games, but he's talented. We know Fred's talented. McTominay can do a job. Matic can do a job. Donny's just came in. Bruno's quality as his numbers look. I'm like, let's just try something. You played 4-3-3 before. So I'm like, okay, that was your most successful reign. Your most successful period was that period where I think we won 8 games.
Before you go, KJ, because I spoke about this before. Does nobody ever ask why? Well, we played it, then we had some bad results and he changed it and he's never gone back to it. Do we not ask why that is?
I was about to say that. That's the only
How would you feel with Matic as it stands? We know Bailly should be playing. We know this. Let's not even get into that debate.
Yeah.
But like, let's say Bailly's injured, like he normally is. Single pivot, Matic protecting Maguire and Lindelof. Come on, Flawless.
Yeah, no, I know. We spoke about it before, and I know it.
This is why I say. The last thing I'm going to say on this, then I'm just going to let you guys go. Like, this is why I'm saying Ollie's constantly he has to pick his poison all the time. He's always having to. There's always a trade-off somewhere. That's the problem. But go ahead, KJ. Sorry, bro.
But if we win, all right, KJ, just one quick one, innit? I get what Danny's saying, but if we win the midfield battle, we have more of the ball and we'll be defending less. Yes, we know we have defensive deficiencies. That being said, we have defensively improved. I think Maguire, I don't understand the slander Maguire gets. Obviously, Lindelof next to him is not the best fit because Maguire needs pace next to him. I think anyone can figure that out. But yeah, if we actually win more midfield battles and say dominate and have 60-65% of the ball, we're defending less. No matter how bad your defense is, if you have the ball. There's no way that Brighton should be dominating the ball against us. Come on, man, and West Ham and these type of teams.
That's my thing, though. Sorry, Terry, you've had your time to speak.
No, it's cool. Go on, mate.
So here's my point.
Yo, you give man some equity. This is what happens, Terry. Be careful, mate.
I'm treating everyone equally, bro. That's all it is.
49%, but go on.
I agree with Flawless, and I've said it multiple times before. Ollie's best time and his best football as well was with the 4-3-3. Pogba on the left-hand side of the three, and you had him Herrera and Matic. We've got, if you look at our midfielders, Pogba is an 8. He's an 8. McTominay, he wants to be an 8. Fred is an 8. You've got Van der Beek, who's an 8. Bruno, as much as he can play 10, he's an 8.
He's an 8.
He's an 8. So we've got 5 8s.
Van der Beek's a 10, but he can play 8.
Yeah, Van der Beek's a 10, he can play 8. We got 5. So this is what I'm saying. Like, why are we trying to push players in all these different roles that they're not made for that? We've got a midfield. Yes, I understand what you're saying with Matic. Hasn't really played single pivot. I understand that Fred positionally, he may not be the best, so he can't really play a single pivot. McTominay, you got questions over him. But this is why I'm like, Ollie, show your coaching that everyone doubts, change it up, and play these players in their best positions. Paul Pogba, in that free roaming 8 role that you had on the left-hand side, was doing absolute bits. No.
Whoa, hold on a second. No, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
No. Don't get 6, man.
You're talking about defensive.
First of all,
why are we playing 2 6s? Here's the thing. Why are we playing 2 6s? Like, I understand if we're going away to Liverpool. Yeah, if we're going away to Liverpool and it's Anfield and we're playing 2 6s, cool. If we're going away to the Etihad, cool. If we're at home to friggin' Crystal Palace, we don't need 2 6s. You know what I'm saying?
But they're not 2 6s. They're not 2 6s. It's an 8 and a 6, and depending on how the opposition attack us, it changes. Depending on how, if we control the game, like when Pogba got that penalty against Tottenham,
and we never do. Sorry to cut you off, Danny.
No,
yeah, we never do,
and that's why I talk about the inconsistency. No, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you. We don't do it enough because we don't control. Do you know what it is? We don't get to exercise these patterns of play and these variables consistently enough because we don't. The performances are not there. We don't control games well enough. You saw against Tottenham when we had control of a game. Paul Pogba, you can go do your thing now. Wan-Bissaka will drop off, but we don't get control of a game enough to consistently explore these ideas. That's why I say I can see certain things Ollie's doing, but my question mark now is why are we not consistent? When I see us beat the press once, why is it only once or twice? Why is it when the Pereira needs to go ahead, bro?
Same thing I said when we did the match review. When started the second half, first half we were poor in our pressing. We were pressing as individuals. You run to one defender, they pass off to the next. Someone else runs.
Yeah.
It's pointless. You're wasting energy because 5 passes later they're attacking you, and you've just tried to close down as an individual. Start the second half when we created a few openings. I think it was an offside goal, and then we actually scored a goal. We were pressing in 2s and 3s. We got the goal. We got took the lead, and we stopped pressing in 2s and 3s. And at that point, you're like ram home your advantage, get the third. And then you can express in different ways. You can push Pogba further forward, make them think, but we settle back, we get the lead, and we retreat into the shell. What I was going to say in terms of this, if we bring Van der Beek for Pogba, for example, for me, I'm putting Bruno as an 8 before I put Van der Beek as an 8. I want Van der Beek in and around the area. You see his movement is that of like a second striker. He's more likely to get goals and even be closer and support Martial more so than Bruno does. So you see already when Bruno's playing in the 10, he's dropping deep a lot and picking up the ball and spraying it. And so I know that he's got the skill set to play the 8.
This is why we need to. This is why I'm always advocate for the 4-3-3 because Bruno does 2 things, just multiple things that frustrates me. I love Bruno, but it frustrates me because he's playing the central 10. I see him drop deep, whale deep for the ball. When he's off the ball, he's either right next to Martial, so there's that gap, there's that gap in that 10 spot anyway, or he's often playing left wing or right wing, like each time. So every time there's this gap, and I'm just like, okay, if we play the 4-3-3, let Bruno go up, and instead of because we say our fullbacks can't really attack, whenever our 8s go up, let our fullbacks tuck into that space. Less attacking pressure on them. They can do what they're good at, which is defending. We can get the midfielders more out wide because Pogba's great on those wide spaces. A big guy like him dribbling at players is very hard to deal with, and we can get our inside forwards actually inside the box. I just don't. The one thing I don't
AJ,
get.
I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree with you. But you know, I've got to a point where, again, man, flawless is my guru in these things. Like, I accept what things are, and then move forward from there. Do you get what I mean? Like, I can't.
Can I just react to this to the super chat here from Chloe Jenkins saying, okay, let's get real. Why didn't Sir Alex Ferguson play him when he was younger? Went to a slow league alongside Pirlo. Looked amazing in the EPL. He is not good. Sorry, not good enough. Has talent, but I think he believes in his own hype.
Yeah,
let me get to that.
No. Let me just say something. Let me just say something. Yeah, let me just say something. You know, when people say he believes in his own hype, I have a problem with comments like that because I can't.
What does that mean?
I couldn't say that because are you around Pogba 24/7 to be saying these things? No, you're not. So technically speaking, you can't really say that. To say that he went to a slower league and say he was with Pirlo, alongside Pirlo, what does that mean? Pirlo was the bad player or a slow player? Yes, probably in terms of pace, he was slow, but in terms of brains, he was one of the most intelligent players I've ever seen. Like in my lifetime, all these years I've been watching football, Pirlo is one of the best midfielders I've seen.
I think she might be saying Pirlo maybe made it look better. I think that's what she's saying.
Yeah,
Chloe, that's such a lazy.
I'm not slagging.
I know leaks.
Go on.
I'm not slagging Chloe off. I'm not slagging her off. But what I'm saying is, it's a bit of a lazy comment to make. And he went to a slower league. What does that mean? He went to a.
Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. What I was saying is, I think it's a bit of a lazy comment to say that, and it's a bit too easy to say. Oh, so Alex Ferguson didn't play him because he didn't look good in the Premier League. Like I don't know, because I'm reading stuff and I'm seeing stuff, and when someone like Pirlo comes out and says, when Pogba first trained with us, me and Gigi Buffon were laughing and saying, how did Man United let this guy go for free? When I'm hearing stuff like this, I'm going, what? What do you mean? So he wasn't good enough in the Prem, but Pirlo and Gigi Buffon, who are legends in the game of football, are laughing because they're thinking, what is this guy doing here? He shouldn't be here. He should be at Man United. So that's my take.
If all I'm going to say is to that comment, Chloe Jenkins, I know I rate you because you one of these people on the channel that I love. But if Paul Pogba ain't good enough for the Prem, neither is 90% of the Premier League's midfielders. It's just is what it is. Like,
can I just say this narrative? Yeah, this narrative. This is how it starts. You know that lie that was spreading around. I think it's gone away now. But we actively sold Paul Pogba. Like, people were rewriting history and lying and saying that Alex Ferguson actively moved him on. When we offered him a new contract and he rejected it. I remember. Every other week, the papers were mocking Man United fans in this country with quotes from the Juventus players and Juventus staff and people in Italy about how good Paul Pogba was from the moment they got there. The quote from Buffon was, how could Manchester United be so blind and not see what quality this player has? So Alex Ferguson, listen, legend. Like, honestly, like, come on, it's Alex Ferguson. He wasn't right. He didn't get everything right. He didn't get everything right at Manchester United. This is the problem, though.
But at that time, Paul Pogba was not going to get in front of Scholes again.
But we know the moment Paul Pogba decided to leave. I believe it was the Blackburn game, and so Alex Ferguson played Raphael in central.
Raphael in centre.
Yeah, that was a bit.
Like, again, Fergie got that one wrong. That's all I'm going to say. As far as him believing the hype, like.
But on your point there, Danny, and fake football fans, is it Manny your name, bruv?
Manny, AJ, yeah.
Cool. Just stretches it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may not have got in over Paul Scholes in. That goes back to a point I was making earlier. One of the biggest mistakes and one of the worst things that we've done as a football club is we never replaced our 2008 legends early enough. By the time we were looking to replace most of those stars, they were past their best. And that's bad practice from a football club. Why? Because the Glazers weren't prepared to spend the right money. Like, we got Van Persie, but we would never assign a player of Van Persie's quality if he wasn't running down his contract at Arsenal and we got him for 20-odd million pounds. We didn't. Yeah. We should have signed Aguero, but you got to remember, from 2013, the money that football teams receive from TV companies has grown from tens of millions to hundreds of millions a year, which basically has enabled us to spend. And because of all these foreign countries, additional countries that have bought the brand of the Premier League, you then get additional sponsors in for those regions. So we've earned a lot more money. But in Fergie's last 6-7 years, we could have bought Aguero and many other players, and we just didn't bid the money. And we should have been replacing the Paul Scholes of this world when Paul Scholes was 34, 35. But we didn't play them enough. We didn't buy the right quality. We tried to get by finessing it. And once those players completely and utterly went, the quality just wasn't there. And the Pogba thing was a massive mistake by Sir Alex. And I get that he didn't get on with Mino Raiola. But again, even Fergie was coming to the end of his tether. The football world has changed in the last 7 years. The aging element is so important for these players. And I think Fergie was on the way out, and that isn't an attack at him. And there was this more entrenched new era. Remember, Man United didn't have a social media account. He wouldn't allow the club to even have a Twitter account. And within like 2 weeks of him retiring, bang, we're on social media. Fergie was stopping it. And sometimes I wish he hadn't have changed that, because we never had a leaked team sheet in 25 years. We seem to have them all the time. Like, there's a lot more leaked information now.
Every week now.
Yes, so there's bad elements to some of these changes. But yeah, on the Pogba thing, people always try and rewrite history to make it, look like a master stroke or look like someone done something poisonous. And in terms of Chloe and her original comment, what I would say is this: the believing in their own hype thing, I'd phrase it differently. And I suppose it's a question to say, does he always try his hardest in games? A lot of people ask that question. And my view is always, I think sometimes Pogba tries too hard. And I think sometimes he'll have the ball in an area. And where Danny might see it as a lazy pass, I do. I think sometimes what he's trying to do is he wants to do something to look special, or he wants to do something where he looks like the star. Not because
it doesn't come off,
but because he's trying to do something brilliant. Where I remember in his first game right until now, where I worry about Paul Pogba is when he's in possession in our defensive third of the pitch. He worries me. He doesn't do the simple things in those areas very, very well.
He doesn't pass it. He tries to think that
Pogba shouldn't be playing in those positions.
But he should be playing in those positions, in my opinion, because I think that's when you're a central midfielder, you end up deep at times. You just do, and he's not doing it all the time. He might get the ball there 5-6 times in a game. He needs to do better. I think any football player at Man United has to have the ability to receive the ball in his own half, in his own final third, whether it be from a corner, whether it be in open play, and be able to hold a man off and then find a simple pass to a teammate. Sometimes the passes are not on for him, but there are other times when I watch him and it's okay, you've dilly-dallied, you've done a little step up, you've done a flip. What are you going to do? And it doesn't, and we all do that at the club. We watched along the other day, and there was a move that happened, and one led to a goal. It was a good pass from Shaw into Maguire. Maguire touch, bang, pass the ball out to AWB. AWB back into Lindelof, and then Lindelof takes 5 touches and the play slows down. It's rife and it's been around forever. We all need to be better. But Paul Pogba, top star. Sometimes he has brain farts. The issue is, though, is you can get away with them if everybody else is playing well. When the team's having a stinker, people want to over-focus on Paul Pogba. Now, I criticised him for yesterday's performance because he was absolute dog breath. So was Martial. But that's it. It's where it ends for me. We move on to the next game, and we know Pogba's going to do something brilliant. And he will find his feet. You've got to remember, like I've said about this whole Man United thing at the minute, we're still in pre-season. And we're going up against teams that have played 3 or 4 friendlies and an extra game than us, and they're just fitter and sharper. And everyone said, I was wrong, no, Terry, nonsense. I was like, well, City and Chelsea are going to come unstuck in one of the next couple of games. Everyone told me I was wrong.
Right, to Chloe Jenkins' second super chat, if you can get that back up, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say, I understand that, but the question I would ask you and everyone who feels like this: what were these expectations that you had personally? And if they are to do X, Y, Z, and if you actually look at what they were compared to the player that he is and the other players around world football, if they all do those things as well, then I think you might need to reevaluate what your expectations were. Now, if they were manageable, I can see a disappointment. But if you're expecting, which many people did, and I think this is more media driven, Paul Pogba to defend every single attack that comes on our goal, to go and score every single shot we get, every single shot he takes, to assist every pass, assist every goal, to make the crunching tackles, to all these expectations that the media and other fans of other rivals put on him, then that's a you issue, because you've accepted that as an acceptable expectation when it's not.
I personally think it was.
And I think the problem with Pogba is, I think as United supporters, we've not really had a type of Pogba midfielder. So we're used to Scholes, who works hard, Michael Carrick, who works hard. So when Pogba now comes in, respecting Pogba to do this, but people don't understand, when Pogba was in Juventus, his games, he was more or less playing like a left-sided inside midfielder. He's come to United now and he's playing centrally in a 2. He's not going to do the things that he has never done before. So I think people need to understand this. People just say, "Oh, he had all this hype when he was at Juventus, and no one probably really watched him." And people just, "Oh yeah, he's the greatest midfielder, most complete midfielder."
Yeah. I agree with you to a point, and KJ's point as well. At Juventus, he was playing on the left of a diamond and a back 3 behind it, by the way. Big difference having a back 4 behind the diamond. So he had and by the way, Italy's not a very physical league, so he had a physical advantage in that league as well. But he was in a team that was already prepped to win, full of experience. He just had to go out and play. No pressure. They'd win without him. And they've continued to, at least at league level. They still haven't got that Champions League.
Please mention those 3 midfielders that he was playing with as well.
Pirlo, Pjanic, and Alex Vidal. So he had a proper playmaker, world-class. Pirlo, sorry.
Marquisio was there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Marquisio was there.
You know, it might have been Marquisio and not Pjanic, actually.
Yeah, I think it was.
Pjanic went there.
Again,
yeah, but
Vidal and Pirlo in particular, those two, like, basically, what to KJ's point about Paul Pogba wanted him to win the ball, Vidal was doing that for him. Paul Pogba playmake, Pirlo was doing that for him. Only reason why, Terry knows this, I'm a massive fan of Paul Pogba. The first time I called the Football Terrace was to defend Paul Pogba against things other than football, racial undertones. That's the vibe I was to defend Paul Pogba. All I want to say is this very quickly on Paul Pogba, why I'm on him this season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made his role very, very simple in that central midfield double pivot role. As an offensive player now, we just need to see his passing and his ability to control games. No more. The responsibility to be the main creator is not on him anymore because that's Bruno. And because Ole's prioritised the front 3, Paul Pogba scoring the match-winning goal when the going gets tough. We're now looking at Martial and Rashford first. Actually, Rashford first, then Martial. And then Bruno, not Paul Pogba. That's why I'm on him now. Like, you need to be press resistant and you need to start controlling games and show me your passing range. The last 2 games, his passing, just the most fundamental aspect of his game has just been like subpar. And that's why I've got my eye on Paul Pogba. I'm looking out for his concentration. That's the main thing. Can you concentrate for 90 minutes and just be consistent in the things you do as an individual? Then we can talk about styles, formations, and everything else.
Sorry, mate. I just want to, with Pogba, he gets so much unnecessary criticism. And a lot of it does boil down to expectations. And no one can ever really articulate. People say, be consistent. That's too myopic and ambiguous. You need to be, I want some specificity when it comes to what your expectations of him are. But I see the same thing in the way people expect things from Maguire. And what I mean by that is, I think when you're coming for this big money, Jose called this out day 1 on Pogba. People want him to score and assist with every single touch that he has because he costs the same amount of money as at the time as the Ronaldos and Bales. One, completely not understanding the position that he plays in or the kind of player that he is. Equally, I think a lot of United fans that hate on the Maguire situation, there's this Man United haven't had the same uptake as Liverpool did when they spent a similar amount of money on Virgil van Dijk, and it irks people. I think people sometimes bring in these superstar signings that have these hype, or these big money signings that have hype, and we have this unrealistic expectation in our head of what that's going to do for us. We'll be back with this signing. And it doesn't happen, and it makes people angry. And that's not every single fan. I think with some people, they take out the fact that since Pogba's been here, we haven't got back to challenging for titles. And they look at him as and by the way, I'm not talking about Chloe in a comment here. They focus on that. And they almost become a bit of a scapegoat in this.
Harry, that's exactly what it is. Because when Pogba came, listen, I was one of them, man. I said, listen, Pogba, Zlatan, Mkhitaryan. In one window. I think they were the one window. Is that correct?
Yeah. As well.
Neeks, you're not crazy. That should have worked. Just saying.
Listen, I said we are going to win the league. With Jose Mourinho, we are going to win the league. And because we haven't won the league, and funny enough, Pogba's the only one of all of those who's actually still here, it's now his fault that we didn't win the league. Not to mention that Zlatan, even though he was our top goal scorer, missed a host of big chances, a lot of which was Pogba created. Yes. Turned out to be a massive flop, and the trade with Sanchez is probably the worst deal in Premier League history. And because we haven't won the league, it's Pogba's fault, because the 90 million should have been enough to win the league. Didier Deschamps said it best. Pogba can do everything on the football field, but he can't do everything at the same time. And people want to do everything.
Preach.
110%. It's ridiculous the way people treat him. And then, of course, you had the racial undertones and the religion that he follows into that with the state of society, and it perpetuates the situation. And Pogba is so badly mistreated. There's a problem with this fan base. These people who love
that comment. Love that comment.
True. Then what you get is the people that don't like Pogba. Bruno comes in, and they use Bruno as a see. That's what a top signing can do when he comes in.
That's what the media done as soon as
Bruno, and then the Pogba lovers, who again, all these people, by the way, care more about their individual loves of players than they do the football club. Start to berate and try and attack everything that Bruno does and stop praising it. And I look at it thinking, what is wrong with you?
They're both United players.
Yo, Lucy's angry at us.
It's like Rashford and Martial. It's like I love Rashford and Martial, but dare I say something bad about Rashford? It's assumed that I'm Martial FC, and dare I say something bad about Martial? It's assumed I'm Rashford FC. I love both of those players, and I want them both to do well. But in the same breath, I can criticize if they don't. But people are too busy playing one player against the other, whether it's to balance it off because the media criticize Pogba, so I'm going to criticize someone else to balance it off. It shouldn't be like that. If the media is wrong to unjustly criticize Pogba, don't do the same thing that they're doing, which you're criticizing them doing. It don't make sense. Do what is right, not for praise or reward. Do what is right for the sake of being right or being good and right. That's the bottom line. Do what you think is right.
I love that.
But that's
comment.
what it is. I get that comment.
6 out of 10. Yeah. That's what Paul Pogba was when we were going for the top 4. No, nobody was complaining about Pogba because the other players who were Bruno was doing his thing. Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, not so much Rashford, but Martial and Greenwood ended the season well. Paul Pogba was just ticking over, and every 3 or 4 games had a really, really good game, and just kept it ticking nicely. That's all we need from Paul Pogba in this particular role now. We don't need him to be 10 out of 10.
This is the thing about Paul Pogba. His 6 is over players 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah, with that 6, you still get that crazy over-the-top pass that he does and the long passes.
Of course, and on top of that, there's been 2 players who have put in 8+ performances in 95% of the games I've ever seen them play in, and that's Messi and Ronaldo. Most players will go 6-6-8, 6-6-8, 6-6-10, 6. It's normal. The problem we have is that when you watch your own club, so this is addressing rivals, everything's over-exaggerated, isn't it? Oh, my team. And when you see a rival, it's you're rubbish, that's rubbish. I want to see it better. Man United fans have just become self-loathing. So a lot of us view our own team how we view our rival team. That's for whatever reason, I don't understand psychology. That's what I see. I see us watching our own team, and you need to be shameless supporting your own team sometimes. Even when I know something isn't the best, I'm going to say it's the best. But we've lost our way of doing that as Man United fans, and I think it's a defense mechanism. We talk about our own team like rivals. We have a player that puts in 6 or 7, and we act like that's abnormal. But it isn't. It's standard in football to go through those moments. The amount of times Paul Scholes had games where he done loads of good things in it, but he'd be a 6 today, 6.5, 7 maybe. But it was good still. It's like this notion that someone has to be world-class, running, dominating, killing it every game. It's weird and it's warped, and it's only ever going to make you. I think what's happened is this is what makes Man United fans not enjoy watching their club anymore. Like, I watch so many players. Like when I watch Thomas Partey versus Liverpool. First 60 minutes, I'm sitting there going, I don't really rate this guy when I've seen him play today. Everyone's like, how dare you not rate him? He's amazing. Had a really good last 20, 30 minutes to the game. My point is, I bet if you watched him every week, you'd have loads of games where you're going, if you're an alien that came down from space and watched that one game, you'd have gone, he was crap for 70 minutes. And that's how most football is most of the time. But people are just warped with it, bro. And then when we see someone else's team, like I watched KDB today, man, was trash, bruv. Terrible. But no one will talk about that. If Bruno drops one game where he's trash, told you his hype job. Really? 92% goal contribution since he's been at Man United. Hush your problems, bruv.
Terry, were you going to games? Were you going to games in between 2001 and 2005?
Yes.
Do you remember? Let's be real. I don't speak about this on air ever, but since we brought this up, imagine social media, Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes at that time. Let's keep it real. Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs for a 3-year period were not world class.
I remember being there 2 or 3 times when Giggs got subbed off for being poor and the crowd booing him. So yeah. Sorry.
These are the things I remember. Yeah. Cool.
The comment.
Absolutely. Guys.
What did the comment say?
Yeah. No, Chloe, no.
Yeah.
No,
we're not saying that.
No.
No, we already know. We get you. We're having a conversation with you, Chloe. We're talking about the actual ones who are like that. That's what we're saying.
Not talking about you. Let me be clear. When I first called and was talking to Terry about, I was talking about the media and how they were getting away with stuff about Paul Pogba, not about your comment, Chloe.
Absolutely. But gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on this show tonight, That United Show. We've had way over 1.4k people watching. Shout out to every single one of you. Okay. Big up everyone for the super chats. Man.
As always, can I say, Aaron, thank you. As always, great hosting, my brother.
Also, big up Manny.
Manny, just so you're aware, there are a few triggers for me. Harry Maguire and no style of play, triggers. These men know already.
See me, I'm a Harry Maguire agenda. I do not like him at all.
You know what? At least you're honest. Some people won't even admit they have an agenda against him. But no, those are just triggers.
Yeah, he's not for me. He's not my type of centre back.
Guys, make sure you see all the @names of everyone here. Make sure you follow them on their social media accounts. Make sure you interact with them. And yeah, that's what it's all about. Guys, we will be back next week. Same time, same place.
Hopefully with Jadon Sancho in our team.
Hopefully, that'll be the day after. End of the 5th is the Monday.
Hopefully we get him in before that, man. Come on, hopefully we get him in.
We're gonna get him in the last.
I've seen Simon Stone's tweet.
So basically, this is typical like Simon Stone. It always makes me actually quite. So Liam Bradford, who tweeted earlier from the BBC or somewhere, said that Man United are going to go back and make another offer this week. There's a feeling of frustration that things have taken so long. Simon Stone an hour ago quote tweeted and said Dortmund still sticking to the mantra that the deadline was the 10th and United missed it. Interesting week ahead. I find that from a Simon Stone, that is an interesting tweet. This is the same guy that when everyone said Van der Beek's happening was like, not heard much, but it isn't beyond the realms of possibility. They're the ones. They're the ones more so than the Fabrizio.
Literally, if you ever see a Simon Stone tweet saying United, we're not really looking at him. I don't think we're really going to go. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's time, bro.
Yeah, excited, guys.
Sancho's not coming, man. Sancho's not coming.
So basically, according to that tweet, Jadon Sancho's en route. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. Say no more. Say no more.
What you're saying is, yeah.
Say no more. But guys, thank you very much for watching us. Thank you very much for watching us. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, 9 p.m. That United Show on Sunday. We'll be back with all of the boys here. Hopefully, we'll discuss Sancho signing for Manchester United. And I just want to get that across. I'm a Lakers fan. We're going to win this NBA championship. I don't want to hear your comments.
Yes, we are.
Come on, bro.
Yo, David, if you're watching, you ain't seen me since you were saying LeBron was going to lose against Portland. Come see me, David.
What's
Football Terrace. Football Terrace, boys.
What are you guys watching? Netball or something? What is this? What's this? Is one of them weird. Is one of these weird Yank sports? One of these weird Yank sports where you become a world champion and you only play in one country. Weird.
I've got NBA. I love America. That's the NFL. That's the NFL, not the NBA, for the record.
Pansy in America.
NBA in Canada.
But that was it from us, guys. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. We're out. Peace.